It sounds like me when I play soccer. I do the impossible in the best and worst ways.
Ardi Emini on the field is just magic.
It's just
You don't know what's gonna happen.
No, it's a
but
wonder.
magic.
That's what it is. It's a wonder. You stand there and you're wondering what is going on. This is Match Week. I'm Ardi Emini. This podcast focuses on the stories in soccer that usually go untold, the moments behind the headlines, the conversations fans have been waiting years to hear, and the realities of the game you don't always get access to. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. And this is Match Week. Wow, this is crazy. This is episode 59. It's been a while. Debbie, I think the last time I saw you on this show, not in life, we do see each other regularly in life. Last time I saw you on the show, we were at Montclair State. We were doing the radio finale, not the show finale. Yeah. Show is over, but people might have thought it was actually the show's over for how long it's been. But yeah, last time I saw you, it was May of 2023.
Yeah.
What was going on with a certain club, I would say? What was happening at that point?
I think if it was May 2023, we finished third. We were doing all right. The future looked bright. And I'll just leave it at that.
Well, we did have an epic loss, some will say. Who did we lose to?
That one hurts.
FA Cup.
Yeah, that one hurts. Yeah. That one hurts. Yeah, that one hurts.
Ilkay Gundogan. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, that's it.
All I got to say.
13 seconds.
Oh, man. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Today, as I spoke about the last episode with Maz, shout out Maz, we are talking about Man United. We're not talking about Man United to be the typical stereo guys of, oh, how do we do X, Y, and Z, blah, blah, blah. How we're going to, who to buy and all this stuff. No, we're going to break down systematically what's the issue with Manchester United. Because it's not a manager problem. It's not a club philosophy. Well, it is, but it isn't. We'll go more into it. But it's not a problem where it can be fixed with just a Band-Aid. Mm-hmm. It's not like, oh, I scratched myself, put a Band-Aid on it, it'll heal over time. It's like a wise man once said it. This is an open heart surgery, and we need the right doctor to fix it.
Yep.
And there's really, really big problems. So we're going to talk, first off, I think we're going to talk about fixing United, and we're going to talk about all the issues of United and where to start from. Let's start from where the problems began to show, because I think they've existed for a while, and we'll go into more about what the problems were. But the problems began to show, would you say, June of 2013? Would you think that's a fair assessment?
I think that is 100% fair. Obviously, that's Fergie's last day with us. Brought in a new manager that he had faith in. But having faith in someone also needs a little bit more than just one person saying it. He needs a team behind him that also has faith in him, and I think that's kind of our downfall. It's kind of where it started. We haven't won a league since 2013, and it's been a very rough now 13 years going on it. So I think it's from the top down, personally. Yeah,
because let's talk about it, right? So Sir Alex Ferguson leaves Manchester United, one of the, some would say, a pivotal point in football in general, which I know seems exaggerative, of like, how can one guy be such a pivotal point in history of it was essentially a paradigm shift, right? There was no longer the influence of Manchester United anymore in reality. Mm-hmm. Let's be frank. Yeah. Besides spurts moments, whether we're talking about a couple games in the Champions League or whether we're talking about maybe a FA Cup runs, Carabao Cup runs, you name it, and a couple games in the Premier League, but realistically, we were no longer considered a powerhouse because of the changes that were made. Yeah. So I think the big thing I want to talk about first is Sir Alex. I think there's a lot of people in the audience now who are listening where I don't think they truly comprehend what he was doing or who he was. Yep. And I think with people, they don't really get is that Sir Alex was the system. Mm-hmm. Is that crazy to say?
No. Again, I think because he was just so dominant in what he did, and he just had so much belief in his players, and he instilled so much belief, and he was just that old school, very hard on, just got the best out of his players because he expected so much, and he held everyone to such a standard that it just made everyone want to do their best for them, and that in itself was like, okay, we're all going to play for the manager. He is essentially the system. No matter how he sets us up, we're all going to give 100% for him, no matter what.
Yeah, and then I think with Fergie, right, what people don't get is that in modern football, a lot of the work that he was doing, it's now split apart like more departments, we'll say, right?
Yeah.
There's different departments in front of office that handle a lot of the stuff that he's working on.
Yeah.
Especially, granted, like I'm like bottom of the totem pole, like work for a professional soccer team, right? But like I'm like super, super on the bottom where like I'm basically being treated like a toddler every day. It's fine, whatever. But even being in that environment sometimes and seeing how things are ran, you understand the complexity of how much everything has to be done.
Yeah.
And then now seeing that when it came to Sir Alex, right, because he handled the recruitment, he handled youth promotion, he handled the dressing room discipline, he was involved in the long-term squad planning with players as well included, not just long-term, hey, this is what style play we're going to phase into. No, long-term, here's players coming in and out and how we're going to build the team.
Yep.
Like a lot of coaches aren't really in charge of that anymore. I can't really think of anyone off the top of my head. Like maybe Pep Guardiola.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But that's only just because he's been there for as long and there's a lot of money behind him.
Yeah.
That no matter what mistake he makes, he's still going to find a way because when you're a top manager and you have basically a blank checkbook, you'll figure out a way to either finish top 4 or make a run in the Champions League or win an FA Cup or something. There will be some bare minimum to be met.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think that's only the real example
Pep,
with Pep. And then I think also what people don't get with Fergie is his ability to phase out stars.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
So I think Beckham is the biggest example that I think people will talk about because from there he became a Galacticos. That's where he became the David Beckham of the world, not David Beckham of the footballing world.
Yeah.
I think there are two different people.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like players like Beckham, I think Roy Keane, the way how he came out of the club, what his whole situation was crazy. Even Ruud van Nistelrooy at one point.
Yeah.
The guy was bossing up the Premier League, like literally dominating. I think the only players that were doing better than him was Thierry Henry.
At the time, yeah.
And why am I blanking? Alan Shearer. Okay. Only two you could say that were arguably better than him, which is again impressive to say the least.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are two top names.
But even in the modern era, right? Finding the right time to let Ronaldo go, bringing in players like Nani, finding a way to keep Rooney involved in the club in the way that he needed, like things like that. Because at one point, don't forget, Wayne Rooney was going to leave Man United.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that part. Like there was a chance he was either going to go to City.
I got the shirt on. Actually.
Mine's upstairs. I was gonna wear mine. I was really contemplating it. I think I've worn it too much on camera for so many different projects that like all right, I got to rep some of my own stuff once in a while, you know. But yeah, no. So with Rooney, for example, keeping him in, and I think nowadays we're seeing this struggle because I think if we had someone like a Sir Alex now in the current team, right? I'm not saying, oh, bring Sir Alex back.
Same
he's
mentality.
He's like 85 years old. He'll do the job. Like, no. Wait, hold on a second. Actually, no, I'm joking. No. So if there was someone like that with that mentality in the club, I think we'd see Bruno Fernandes already gone. Personally,
yeah,
I think we would. Not because I don't think Sir Alex knows he's good enough of a player. Like we've said, the examples like Roy Keane, David Beckham, Ronaldo, all these guys, like they went out at the right time for the club. Yeah. And I think also he would have had more respect for Bruno for the fact that Bruno Fernandes, I think, deserves to have some kind of title to his name.
Yeah.
Besides the FA Cup and a Carabao Cup, like genuinely, this statement's being said not because of bias or propaganda. I know we talk about it a lot. I have my Man United propaganda, so be it. It is what it is. But in all sincerity, if Bruno Fernandes is playing at a City, if he's playing at an Arsenal, or he's playing at a Chelsea, he wins the Premier League.
Yeah. It's not even
and I'm not saying that in disrespect to those clubs.
No.
I think it's just his brilliance would have shown even more, and I think he would have brought up levels to those other teams. Like, especially like Man City post Kevin De Bruyne, right? Not having a De Bruyne, having him slot in to essentially replace him. Holland, I think, would have broken the goal record again.
Yeah.
Or even at Arsenal. Arsenal struggles to get goals that are not from set pieces.
Yeah.
You're gonna get goals. You're gonna get goals from open play. You know what I mean? So I think things like that has been a really, really big issue in fixing that structure and fixing long-term vision.
Yeah, I think someone, especially like Bruno, like
he's just been such a centerpiece, and we rely on him so much that in the Fergie era, we did have our certain players that we would rely on, but we just had a whole team around him. It was always one person who would be our talisman up top, scoring all the goals, getting all the headlines. Yes. But the team around him that was built, one person didn't always have to do the carrying. If that person was out for whatever reason, we had other people step up. Now we saw Bruno was out for 3 or 4 games. We looked lost. We didn't get any results. And now, someone having that impact is fantastic. It's, you have a game solver, game winner, but to build a club, to build a team, you need more than just one guy to be that kind of the maverick, that kind of X factor. And when we lose someone like him, we lose that whole identity in our team. And United as a club has always had the identity of having players step up in big occasions, apart from just their one main guy. Like for years, right? Year we won Champions League in '08, we had Ronaldo as a guy, but Rooney wasn't far behind. Tevez wasn't far behind.
It was that front three that was just magical. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Like we had multiple guys, even guys coming off the bench. We had multiple guys that would just create impacts for the team. That's the biggest thing.
Mm-hmm.
Not just one set player, which we don't have that now. We just have one guy. Hey, do your thing, and we just hope for the best. But that team basis that we used to have was a major thing. I think that also propelled us to new heights that were unheard of back then too.
I think I don't want to go too far off topic, but I think just to get to your point real quick, I think we do have big players. I think we've just suffered recently because the moment Bruno gets injured recently, and Buemo, Diallo, Mazraoui go to AFCON.
Yeah.
So it's
timing
like
was
poor timing on top of, okay, Bruno's our main creator of the team. Like this season, I don't think he's been the only one being creative within the team. We've had Diallo and Buemo and Cunha showing those spurts and showing what they can do. So I think that's sort of, granted, think about before the AFCON, right? Before the AFCON, we had the second most goals scored in the Premier League, 32 goals.
Yeah.
Before the AFCON, right? That doesn't mean we don't know how to create. I think it just shows that we don't know either how to finish at times or how to maintain a system that creates consistently.
Yeah.
I think that's a big issue as
Consistency
well.
is the biggest thing, yep.
But just to go into our next point, because honestly, I think this delves in really well because I want to talk about how the successors of that managerial spot have struggled and the reasons why. And I think we both know why.
Yeah.
Would you be able to agree with me that they inherited these expectations of what Man United is without the power of having those expectations?
100%. You have a guy in Fergie who was there for almost 40 years, and he just set the bar so high that no matter who came after him was almost in a way set up for failure. It's either win the league or that's it. And that's kind of been the same story over and over all these years, that, just that shadow of Sir Alex Ferguson and the standards that he set is just kind of overbearing with everyone that comes in. And sometimes it's too much. I saw a quote from Christian Eriksen saying, as soon as you put on the United jersey or as soon as you step into that building, all that pressure, all the championships, all the trophies, everything that's won is immediately, put upon you. You have no time to kind of adjust. You have to do it.
No, 100%. And I agree with that because I want to bring back Moyes, right? Because I think Moyes, out of all the managers we've had since Sir Alex left, I think was the most hard done by personally. And the reason why is because he was given an aging squad. He was given a team that was only new Sir Alex basically their whole entire professional careers.
Yeah.
Realistically. So now you have aging players, a manager that has defined that team, and now players that you have the inability to bring in because now they don't want to back you in the transfer market.
Yep.
So it's like you're taking broken pieces of this cog, you're trying to make it work, and now we're getting mad at you for being around 7th place because you can't figure it out. Because it's not like he wasn't a good enough manager. It's just you're basically asking someone to follow up on what a great manager did and hiding the problems so well for so long.
Yeah.
And then not being able to, like, for example, I think the only transfer he was allowed to bring in was Shinji Kagawa and Marwan Fellaini, or Kagawa was the season prior.
I think Kagawa was the season prior.
Yeah, so even then, I think the only thing he did was call up Adnan Januzaj from the youth academy, and then we had Marwan Fellaini.
Yeah, that he brought over from Everton with him.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, and granted, Fellaini the season prier,
no, he was solid. Yeah.
Dude, like solid DM, like was scored last minute goals, stuff like that. Like, and then at United, I don't know what the hell happened to him.
It's the pressure.
It's the pressure, right? It's anytime a player puts on that jersey, it's like they're mush. I don't know how to explain.
They just have that target on their back that they know.
100%. No, but let's be real though, right? It's like that's what the foundation starts off of as soon as Ferguson left.
Yeah, because it's his demeanor. It's his voice in the locker room, in the dressing room. In the building, everyone has so much respect for him, for what he did. Now you have a new guy come in. It's like, okay, you need to live up to these standards ASAP. And if you don't, everyone's going to come out to get you right away.
But is that his fault though? Because be honest, if Sir Alex Ferguson handpicks you to be the next manager, if I was a player, right,
Mhm.
and I see that if I'm Wayne Rooney, obviously who wouldn't want to be Wayne
Yeah.
Rooney? If I'm Wayne Rooney, right, and I see like, okay, Sir Alex has handpicked David Moyes to be our next coach.
Yeah.
All right, I'll back him. Let's do it.
Mhm.
You know,
No, yeah, and
I
it
think
makes
that's
sense,
something
yeah.
where like everyone has put their ego to the side and say we're not the Manchester United of last year. We're not.
No.
We can't say we are because now that Sir Alex is gone, we can't be that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's also been what's been the biggest issue in media nowadays. I'm talking about Man United.
Yeah.
People don't realize that the United that once was. I think the issue is they associate United with Sir Alex's success, where I don't think we can no longer say Man United was a successful club. We can only say Sir Alex Ferguson was a successful manager. I think that's the only fair statement to have.
Yes and no. Yes, obviously successful manager, no doubt, but he's the one who brought all the success to the club in itself. You know,
Prior before, and yeah, we did have a few championships in the league, and obviously
as well as the Champions League. Yes, but he brought 2 Champions Leagues. He brought 13 titles, Premier League titles. You know what I mean? Premier League started in '92.
FA Cups.
FA Cups.
No, but I agree with you. But like for example, Man City, right? Man City when they had Pellegrini was still winning Premier Leagues. They won FA Cups.
Okay.
They won EFL Cups. Under Pep, obviously, is matching Sir Alex Ferguson levels, but I think it's different, right?
Yeah.
I think Sir Alex rebuilt a club, whereas Pep Guardiola is spending a paycheck. I think those are 2 different stories.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Personally,
Yeah.
and not to get into that debate, but I think that's where the main difference is. Not to knock the manager.
Yeah.
I think if you give any manager that City job and you give them the blank checkbook, you're allowed. It's a dream scenario. You can play any system you want, buy whoever you want, get rid of whoever you want, and no one's gonna question you.
Yeah, and you'll always be backed.
Exactly. Which I think then again comes to the issue here.
Yeah.
You're bringing in a manager, but you're never fully backing them. You're selling that dream of being backed because after David Moyes, I think we have to talk about the next guy, which was LVG, Louis Van Gaal.
Same story.
Same story.
It's been a revolving door. That's what it's been. We get new managers, have the new manager bounce the belief, oh, he's gonna do it. Us fans, the media, everyone has the belief, but then when it comes to actually giving us results and actually helping him and the club, it goes from the top down, like I mentioned in the beginning. It's that the belief is there from the fans, but the belief in the support is not there from the board. And it's been the same way since.
Well, the board and the players, right? I think the board,
the players as well. Yeah,
board
absolutely.
not allowing you to have money. And I think after Moyes left into the Van Gaal era, it was the first time we started hearing about dressing room leaks where that used to never be a thing.
Yeah.
That was the first era where it was like, all right, like remember the whole beef and drama with like Colleen Rooney and Jamie Vardy's wife during
Something like that. Yeah.
It was like that whole thing of like, okay, maybe now we understand where some of these leaks are coming from, where it may not be the players, just maybe it's pillow talk and people are repeating it and making a buck off of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's where sort of it became an issue because now there was no governance, there was no respect.
Yeah,
I think those were the signs where we started losing respect in the club.
Yeah.
But I think the thing I think we have to also talk about when it comes to Van Gaal, even after Mourinho, Ten Hag, Ruben Amorim, with all these guys, it's like there was no patience and evaluation.
No, none.
I don't think personally there was patience. Like Mourinho, different story. Brought our Europa League. I think he bought himself more time, but the problem was Mourinho was calling stuff out like how Fergie would do. Like if your time was up, your time was up, but we backed the players, not Mourinho.
Yeah.
Like Paul Pogba, love him to death. I
Yeah.
think he was spectacular. I think it's a shame he went to United over Real Madrid personally. I think his career would have been better for him if he had gone to Real. Personally,
Yeah.
I think it would have.
I can see that.
I that's just my personal opinion about it.
Mm-hmm.
Just because of the fact that Pogba was such a big player. I don't think the modern fan gets how big of a player Paul Pogba was. Leaving United from Fergie, going to Juve, and doing some of the things he did.
Yeah, making a
The
name for himself
goals
and
and the way how he was distributing. Like there was times where he was making Andrea Pirlo like dog shit, dude. Like, and I'm not saying that disrespectfully. I'm not saying that to be rude because we all know Pirlo, I think one of the best midfielders ever.
Yeah.
The fact that you could play the ball almost as good as him, or maybe even better in certain types of balls we played,
Yeah.
like that crossfield diagonal, playing that 70-yard diagonal into the runner on, no one played a better ball than Pogba doing that, bro.
Especially for a person his size and the way a person his size shouldn't be moving the way he did and doing some of the things he did as well.
And how he floats in the ball.
That's what I'm saying.
And,
Yeah, he was glides. That's a great word for it.
He just
Yeah,
glides on the ball, but I
so
think,
smooth.
but that's also an example, right? Of a player where if it was under Ferguson, they'd be gone. And he was. Think about it. He wanted minutes over Paul Scholes. He got told no. Left to Juve.
Yeah.
And then now the same thing was happening with him at United. His ego was outgrowing the dressing room. He started to become a problem. And then we decided keeping the player happy over keeping the manager happy.
Yeah.
Because once it starts from Pogba being upset, it affects the rest of the locker room.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It spreads.
It
right
spreads.
away.
It spreads like wildfire.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that was also the time where we didn't have Zlatan. Think about it. That first season with Zlatan in the locker room, I think everything got strained out even more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Having a leader like Zlatan along Wayne Rooney of, hey, Zlatan's a hard guy. Like, don't try to mess with him.
Mm-hmm.
On top of someone who's been at the club long enough with Wayne Rooney as well, I think it was a great leadership core. I think that was one of the biggest mistakes for Mourinho, letting Wayne Rooney go. Just for that reason alone. Like, sure, he might not get the minutes that he thinks he deserves at his stage in his life, but you need to keep that guy to make sure the locker room's maintained until you find the next guy.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's the experience. You know what I mean? Fergie had a lot of experience in his teams, and, you know, trickling down to the next guys, like we said, Moyes had an aging squad. The experience was there, but you also need to have a little bit of firepower, which he didn't have. Van Gaal was the same way. Mourinho had that. He had to mix it.
Well, Van Gaal, hold on, let's talk about it. Angel Di Maria.
Yeah.
We can't say no firepower when you get Juan Mata and Angel Di Maria.
Both at very good ages, too.
Exactly.
You know,
like,
and everything
Di
too,
Maria, after United, boss at PSG, in my personal opinion, single-handedly carried Argentina to 2 different World Cup finals.
Yeah.
We talk about World Cup 2014 and then World Cup 2022.
2014, he was exquisite. Yeah,
Yeah,
fantastic.
dude, he was off that 13-14 season with Real, dude. Like,
Yeah, and he got injured, I think, for the final, right? He didn't play in the final.
he didn't play in the final, and
Yeah.
no wonder why they lost.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm
no,
just-
no one's beating that German team, but
Yeah, but
I know what you mean. I know what you
Yeah,
mean.
but that's what I'm saying, right? I think if there's someone to beat that team, someone to cause problems, it's gonna be Angel
Be
Di
the
Maria.
X factor, you know, alongside, because obviously most of the attention's going to be on a certain someone. You have someone else can step up.
Yeah, exactly. But I think the point I'm trying to make is just effectiveness, right?
Yes.
I think someone who could be so effective on the ball, and the fact that we didn't get enough out of him. I think also the fact of him having the robbery happen in his house, that kind of stuff happening. Not be able to keep players like that, even a Memphis Depay, right? Memphis Depay came in under Louis Van Gaal
Yeah.
and was struggling at United. Goes to Lyon, kills it. Even plays at Barcelona and does really, really well.
Yeah.
So it's like we can't keep faulting the players when there's an issue at the club,
It's an internal issue.
internal issue.
100%. And like, again, we've been saying it, you know, playing for a club like United, like a Real Madrid, like a Barcelona, the expectation is just higher than ever. You need to live up to the expectation to the people who've played before you. And again, it just kind of stems just from having that one issue internally, then that can spread right away to all the other ones, like you said, like a wildfire.
No,
And it
100%.
And it just carries on and on and on.
I think also one thing we do need to address was the footballing identity. I mean, it's also another issue
Oh, yeah.
because don't get me wrong, Moyes I think is a great manager. Van Gaal I think is a good manager. Mourinho
We know.
up there.
Special one.
I think it's what Sir Alex, Ancelotti, Mourinho, like talk about
For
top
some
three.
people, yeah, that's not a bad
Yeah.
top 3, yeah.
I like how you're being like for some people, just not aligning yourself to any opinion.
No.
No, like Mourinho's up there, and then
Absolutely.
also after Mourinho, you have Solskjaer, where I think that was a run I wasn't expecting us to do so well with how poor the squad was.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That, and then we get Ten Hag, and after Ten Hag, we get Amorim. So with Moyes, it was more direct soccer. I don't think our team was ready to play so direct.
No.
Well, especially with the players we had, and in order to play direct, you need to have a more fit squad. And I think with our team aging out at the time,
Yep.
don't think it was going to work.
Yeah.
And then we get Van Gaal, where it's possession control, where it did benefit, right? When you have players like Ander Herrera and stuff like that, and how nothing's allowed to be a pass off the first touch, and
Yeah.
how everything has to be settling, finding. I think that was okay. I think we weren't explosive enough once we had the space with possession.
Yeah.
I think that was a big issue with Van Gaal. And then if we're gonna talk about Mourinho, defensive pragmatism at its finest. Dude.
Yeah.
Like he's like, we're gonna defend first, everything else figure out on your own.
Yeah.
And I think that's also just a little sidebar here. I think Mourinho gets disrespected for being only known as a park the bus manager.
At the time in his era where he was so notorious for it, yes, but he did.
I mean,
develop.
yes and no, because at Inter Milan it was a mixture. Like,
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. He developed. I'm talking about like 04 when he won with, or I think 05 when he won with Chelsea and they conceded the least amount of goals in Premier history for a season.
yeah,
After that, he did develop 100%. He had different players in different positions that worked out for him, especially.
But
Like you said,
I think also it just depends on the squad you have. Though.
yes, the
Because
squad
like
at hand obviously
with
makes
Porto, I think he was defined as free flowing football. Which when people hear Jose Mourinho, that's the last thing they ever think about.
Yeah,
Right? He goes to Chelsea. Priority number one was just to shore up the defense because there's big defensive issues.
mm-hmm.
Chelsea plays Brentford on Saturday.
We don't care about Chelsea versus Brentford, okay, Siri? Shut up.
I hope they
Damn.
lose.
Hope they lose as well. And then even when he was at Real, oh my God, Jose Mourinho at Real, that was the highest goal scoring seasons for every player there. Like
He had to with the squad that he had.
that's what I'm saying. It's like people like to say that Mourinho was only known for his defensive pragmatism, which he was known at certain clubs. And I think he was only known for that for how he was rebuilding those clubs.
Yeah.
And to the player strengths they already had. Because for him, he doesn't want a huge squad turnover. He wants to take what he has, make it good enough to fit, and then buy the right pieces to adjust
build
to
around that. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Which is what a manager should do. That's fair.
Yeah.
100%. And then we decide, bin off Mourinho. The culture got really toxic. We don't care about his defensive pragmatism. Now let's bring in Solskjaer, which was the most transition-based soccer I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
I think
Just vibes.
it,
No tactics,
Ole
just
at the
vibes.
wheel, at the wheel, Ole at the wheel, la 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 la. Oh man, almost back at the wheel recently. He was close.
Almost.
He was close.
Almost.
He was close.
Yeah.
But I think one thing I loved about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's Man United was I think we have to talk about the meme, right? The Blackchester United. I think we have to talk. Because under that era of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, we have Romelu Lukaku looking like an animal, Jesse Lingard looking like Lingardinho,
Yeah.
prime Lingardinho. You
Rashford was on
you
the
have
come up.
Rashford on the come up,
Took the
being
10.
explosive.
Pogba, Martial.
Pogba, Martial, Ashley Young looking like a filthy fullback. Aaron Wan-Bissaka,
Wan-Bissaka, the birth
who I
of him,
wish
yeah.
we still had. I'm not gonna lie, I really do wish we still have him.
I
Which
mean-
people might think I'm like delusional for saying that, but.
It's strange.
Diogo Dallo or Aaron Wan-Bissaka? What are we saying here? What are we saying here?
Just put the knife in me at that point.
Just put a knife in me at that point. Just pull the trigger. No, but like honestly, under Ole, we've never seen more transition-based soccer where it looked so
Yeah.
well. Even like Edison Cavani, there was a season of Martial, Rashford, and Cavani where they were just goal machines.
Oh yeah, unreal.
And I think the only real issue under Solskjaer was, I think he was slowly transitioning with this because we've seen a lot of interviews about Scott McTominay, right?
Mm-hmm.
And wow, he's doing really well right now, playing at Napoli and being he won the Scudetto with Napoli and
Yeah.
being the player of the year for the Serie A.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? So and also what he's doing for Scotland. Like we saw spurts of at United what he could do at Scotland, but then now it's going to a different level, scoring bicycle kicks to get the World Cup qualification.
Absolutely.
Having the interview with Kate Abdo saying, "What's the goal? What's the goal for this World Cup? We're taking it all."
Yeah.
I love that
Yeah.
mentality.
I have
But
to.
I think that's someone where it's like you could see how he plays. It's purely defined by how he played at United, and you could see that Ole was playing a double pivot with him because he had no choice.
Yeah.
But he wanted to get him further up the field. You could tell that he wanted him to be more of an attacking 8 than sitting in a double pivot with Fred and him. Because Fred and him were basically just two guys that should be 8s or 10s. They shouldn't have been playing as like defensive midfielders.
Exactly. Both of them aren't 6s. That's the problem.
No, they're not.
They're both 8s at best. Pogba's another one who's better as an 8 or as a 10. The only true 6 we had was probably Matic.
Yeah, that's it. And then Matic
And he was
has
aging at
legs.
the time too. He was
Yeah.
like 31, 32, I think.
And
at the
then
time.
if we think about with 6s and like prime example, right? Pogba and Conte. The reason why France did so well, you had Conte just cleaning up the mess for Pogba. And you
Proper
had Pogba
six.
just distributing. Like, oh my god,
Yeah.
dude.
That
The
22
prime
squad was
example, the 2018 World Cup, he plays his whipped ball from like I think the halfway line on towards the edge of the touchline.
Okay.
Whips
To Giroud,
it.
right?
No, whips it to Giroud. I think it was Giroud or it was Griezmann. Just how it bends. It
Yeah.
bends all the way to the 18-yard
think I know what
box,
you're talking about.
and it goes in for a goal. I think it was against like Senegal or something, bro.
It might have been either a friendly. I think I know what you're talking about. Though.
Yeah,
I
dude,
think I know
like-
what you're talking about.
Like that's the ability we're talking about. Also, Dan James. I want to talk about this. That was a player who I think was hugely disrespected in regards of how we could have played with him, especially under an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Yeah.
We saw his output, like his ability to play the cross. My one thing, I think that it was underrated, and I think the reason why people like Trent so much for this is just the early whipped ball
Yeah.
from wide. Like instead of just like dragging it all the way down, getting towards the corner flag, when you're about like 10 yards away from the 18, when you're on the end line, whip that ball.
Yeah.
What, like, there's no more early crossing. Like, I think that's the beauty of it, because either you play the whip pass, goes in, you cause chaos in the box, or you just stop halfway, cut, and find someone top of the box to create space.
Yeah.
Like, I think that was one of the great things under Solskjaer's system that we were able to do, was different attacking options from width.
Oh, yeah.
And it was great. But then it started faltering, because then we have to remember Cristiano Ronaldo comes to the club. And
No regrets, but
no regrets.
did
and
put us back a bit.
But I don't think it's his fault.
No.
I think it's the club's fault for when you know you're going to sign a Cristiano Ronaldo, you have to build that team around him.
Yeah.
You have to. Everything has to be around Ronaldo. Like,
Which
no
is
ifs, ands, or buts.
Yeah, plain and simple.
Like, the midfield has to be like, cool, we're going to Ronaldo, going to Ronaldo, going to Ronaldo. And I think Pogba got that message. Like,
yeah, Bruno got it.
Bruno got the
Bruno
message.
understands, but
the
some other guys wanted to be the guy.
No, but I think that was also the issue, was that, again, in the midfield wise, we only had Pogba and Bruno.
Yeah.
We had no one else to help.
That would
Out
look for
wide,
him, yeah.
don't get me wrong, Marcus Rashford playing out on the width is great, but he's not like a Kareem Benzema or a Gareth Bale playing from wide that can still be creative while being an attacker.
Yeah.
Like, especially with how young he was in his career at that time, I don't think his creative ability was there.
Yeah, and like, because that 1920 season was when we had Martial, Rashford, I think it was Greenwood on the right, and it was very interchangeable. We didn't have a set number 9.
With also Cavani helping as well.
He came the season after. We signed him as a free agent when he was like 34. And then what do we do after that? The next season, we signed a 36-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, but you can't put the age
No.
on Ronaldo.
I 100% agree.
I get the storyline you're explaining.
If you're trying to build, and trying to back the manager, then we have to, be bought into what he wants. Not, again, no regrets with Ronaldo at all.
Yeah.
Did he put us back a few years? Absolutely. But it's Cristiano Ronaldo.
But I think at the same time, United's at fault because Solskjaer wanted Haaland before anyone knew about him.
Yep.
He wanted Bellingham before anyone knew about him.
Yep.
Like, there were so many players that he was on the outs for, where it's like, bring them in now. Why can't we bring them in now? And now they're the top players in the world.
Yeah.
Like, just plain and simple, they are.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think now we were seeing that under Amarin. We were.
Keyword.
We were bringing in a lot of youth players, like bringing in Aiden Heaven and all these other guys, right? Signing them from different clubs, Cheeto, Obi Martin, all these guys. Like, that's where, okay, now we're making the moves, and I like the moves we're making.
Yeah.
But now we're back to square one.
Yeah, right back to it.
Right back to square one, because I think it's just we're always using this constant reset button. That's all we're doing.
Yeah.
Because the squad profile shifts every 2 to 3 seasons. Or even in this past 3 years, it's been every season and a half. We go Ten Hag, halfway through the season, fired. Amarin starts his full season, fired.
Yep.
Big issues.
Yep.
And I think also the recruitment I think also our big issue is that recruitment follows managers, not principals.
Okay.
Because, again, we're comparing it from pre-2013 to now 2013, what the issue's been. Because, remember, Ferguson had control of all of that. Now these modern managers don't really have control over that.
Yeah, yeah.
So now the problem is that we're not building for a principle. There's not one person deciding what's our footballing principles. What's our identity? How do we want to play? And with Amarin, I didn't mind investing in a 3-4-3 inverted. I didn't. You know what? Why not do something different? Why not shake it up? Why not bring in different profiles of players so that way people don't make it seem like we're so predictable in the market? That way we get different players. I think it's allowed more things from us to be able to be more free-flowing than we've ever wanted to be. People don't understand that.
Yeah.
I think people didn't understand what Ruben needed to do in order to build that success on top of that as well, which we'll speak more into. But I do think it's just, again, our recruitment does follow managers more than principals. And I thought under Emini we were building a principle finally. Just as one of those things to talk about.
Like prime example is Ten Hag bringing all his Ajax boys over.
Yeah, but I think it's different when it comes to, I think honestly, Lisandro Martinez was a phenomenal transfer, absolutely. No matter if it's Ten Hag boy or not.
Yeah.
I think Donny van de Beek should have been given a chance, bro. That guy on the ball, and we've been seeing it at Girona. Girona has exploded exponentially having him there, and his ability on the ball is just phenomenal.
Yeah, I had a soft spot for him as well. I just felt bad he was injured, or he just never got the chance.
Dude, he was someone that would have thrived in this current system under Amarin, or what was Amarin's current system, right? Like instead of having Bruno as that deep 8, deep 6 to help the other 6, you have Donny van de Beek there, who's essentially playing as a 6 because he was forced to, having Hakim Ziyech and De Jong on the same team.
Yeah, and Tadic in front of him as well.
Yeah, and Tadic in front of them, and then you had Dali Blind, who was your supportive six at times, coming in as an inverted fullback. Like, you know what I'm talking about? It's like there was ways to make it work with certain players. We just sadly didn't invest enough in them, which was a really big issue. And we also we focused too much on short-term fixes to replace long-term planning.
Yep.
A lot of that. And I think example number one was Mourinho's appointment prioritized immediate competitiveness.
Yeah.
We have to bring in Mourinho because we need to be competitive right now.
Yeah.
Which I think was a big problem. Like, don't get me wrong, we won a Europa League, and I'm so happy about that. But we didn't build on that competitiveness because we didn't allow Mourinho to do what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
Which is a big problem.
Yep.
And I think also, think this might be a hot take. I think Solskjaer's appointment prioritized an emotional reset rather than a tactical structure.
Oh, absolutely. Which isn't, it's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing either. But like at the time, we had a very toxic locker room with Mourinho.
Yes, which I agree with 100%.
So,
but the problem is, I think we didn't build on that even more.
No.
We only allowed it to be the dressing room and not the whole club.
Yeah. That's fair. We brought Ole in, and it's Ole. He's part of the team that won all the big trophies, that did all those big things, played under Fergie, knows the club in and out, the DNA, right? Like we always like to say, as fans and everything I see online. He brought all the good vibes back and everything, and we did perform. There's no doubt about it. But like you said, just a quick small fix, nothing that was going to be long term.
Yeah.
It was just for that time being, we feel so good. We're now competitive again. We finished second in the league. Okay, semifinals, missed a few semifinals. But like, it was just, like you said in the beginning, just a Band-Aid. It was a quick Band-Aid over the bigger issues that we had, a deeper cut that we needed to get through. But again, no regrets with Ole either. He did his thing. He made us a little bit more competitive again. It's just the time that he did leave, I think his time was sadly up. It was becoming a little bit too much for him. He was a bit, tactically inept at the time, which is no fault to him, but he did his best. And he could see it was someone who wanted to do their best at all times for the betterment of the club, which for that time being with the managers before him, we really didn't see that. They kind of did their thing for themselves, I feel like, more so. But he really tried he even said it when he became caretaker. He just wants to help the club. And then he did well. He got the permanent job, but at the beginning, he just did it to help. And you can see it when, the way he held himself and carried himself and spoke to the media about the club and what he did with the players as well.
Prime example. Mountains are meant to be climbed.
Yeah.
That's a prime example there, right? But I think the only reason why I stated those two particularly,
right, is that there was...
It was just the fact of the extremes and differences between the two.
Yeah.
Because instead of committing to one direction, each appointment was sort of solving the last problem rather than the core problem, which is the lack of the identity, right? Is the lack of who do we want to be? What is Man United now?
Yeah.
We never established that post-Ferguson. Yeah. Manchester United was Sir Alex Ferguson. Let's be real. When it came to identity, it's Sir Alex, it's the club, it's the everything. We are united. We are all one. That's what it was.
Absolutely, yeah.
Once he left, nothing.
It just someone pulled that last Jenga block and everything just kind of fell apart.
It crumbled, exactly. And I think with having that big issue of short-term fixes to replace long-term planning, we never had players that could master one system.
No.
Right? Because let's think about it in the current squad right now. We've had Luke Shaw, who's been a part of every single one of these rebuilds, bar Moyes, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Rashi was part of it too before he left this summer too.
True. I mean, he got called up under Louis van Gaal.
Yeah, that's I'm saying. He made his debut there. He had Mourinho. He had Ole. He had Michael Carrick as a caretaker. He had Ragnick as an interim. He had Eric Ten Hag. Then he had Van Nistelrooy as a caretaker.
But that 22-23 season under Ten Hag, though, man.
Without a doubt, absolutely. But that's the biggest thing about him is it's the one season. You know what I mean? Yes, he's had very solid seasons, but that one season where he really exploded and showed his true potential. That's the thing. You can't really master a system if the system's always changing every other year or year and a half, 18 months, let's say. Like, this guy's been in the team since 2015. We're talking 10 years later. He's probably had, if you're including all the caretakers and interims and, the quick manager that we had for like a few games, you're counting almost 8 managers in 10 years.
No, of course. And I think what people don't understand, I think when it comes down to the armchair fan or the casual, it's just that tactical instructions, having them change every managerial cycle is so difficult. Like, people don't understand tactically how you have to view the game when you're under a certain manager. Like, granted, there's individualism in it, right? It's like, oh, as a footballer, as the position I know I love to play, I know what I can do in this position to bring my own part into the game, right? To bring a part of me into the game that where you're only getting that if you're having a Nebi Ademi at center back, right? Like, just as a prime example, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's okay, like, sure, like, he's playing to the system, like, how the system needs center back to play, but he's also giving these little nuances where it's like, okay, that's only happening because it's him.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
But we've never had players be able to have that ability because I think the biggest issue with not having a tactical instruction to build towards is that causes player development to stagnate.
Oh yeah.
Because there's constant role redefinition.
Oh yeah.
So the way how 6 plays has been redefined 4 different times under different managers, if you think about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then on top of that, the on-field performances lacks that cohesion that's built.
Oh yeah.
Because think about it, if you're always losing, you're gonna think like, bro, fuck that guy. Like, every time I'm giving him the ball, we're losing possession.
Yeah.
Like, why? I can't keep trusting him.
Sorry. Sorry, I have to get that out.
Ugarte. I don't know. I will say there was one game towards the last few of Emerin's departure. He just pulls out this Cruyff turn into a diagonal. I'm like, where the fuck has this been?
It might have been the Villa game. I think.
Yeah, the Villa game.
Yeah,
we lost it. Don't get me wrong. We still lost the game.
Yeah.
Or no, we tied. No, we lost.
No, we lost 2-1.
We lost to Morgan Rogers. We didn't lose to Villa. I want that to be perfectly clear. We lost to Morgan Rogers.
You sound like Conte when he was at Tottenham. And we beat them 3-2. We lost to Ronaldo. Not United.
Exactly, dude. Like, that's how I feel right now. It's like, granted, it wasn't the same level performance,
but like, it was still like we lost to Morgan Rogers.
Two moments of magic from him, and
for real.
Yeah, it's just like we've been saying. You can't have a structure within the club, even for the youth. Like you said, it's stagnant because perfect examples right now. What we're having, Kobe Mino. Comes in through Ten Hag, his first game's at Everton, plays well. This crazy uprising in a very down season for us, yes, but he's playing out of otherworldly. Gets into the England team, plays almost every minute in the Euros. Is the main guy in the midfield. Now, 2 months into the next season, fire Ten Hag, bring in a whole new coach with a new system where he now has to compete with one of the better players in the world, and Bruno for a very different spot that Bruno plays. And now it's just he's not getting any time.
Well, I think the issue with him, right, is that to be that deep 8. You have to be a progressive passer, not a progressive dribbler. So Bruno has a great way of being a deep progressor on the ball, whereas Kobe's biggest strength is being a progressive dribbler.
Yeah.
Is being able to get out of the tight spaces to create space to find the opportunity.
Yeah.
Where I think that's also like the lost thing people forget about dribbling. Dribbling isn't meant to show off you could break 5 players on the run. It's to you beat someone one-on-one to create space to either find the pass or find the shot.
Yeah.
And Kobe does that very, very well. He takes someone one-on-one in tight space, breaks through. He either finds the passing option to break into the attacking third, or he takes a shot on his own. And we saw that against teams like Wolves. We've seen that against even Liverpool.
Yeah.
Like, even in the oh my God, the remontada against Lyon, Europa League. Granted, the final wasn't as good, but still, even in that game, to be able to find the goal, like, he does a very good job at attacking tight spaces with the ball and breaking us through for the attacking third.
Yeah.
And that would have worked under a Ten Hag. Honestly, it would have worked under Mourinho.
Yeah.
It would have worked under a Van Gaal, but that's not going to work under an Amorim system where if you're considered a deep 8 next to the 6, playing that double pivot, you're expected to be a progressive passer with the ball, not with dribbling.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's just how it is. Like, the deep line ball playing numbers are what's big.
Yeah. It's just, but like we said, just the youth having that stagnant. It's like just always changing. The managers also causes that. Like I said, we're watching Mano just play and be free and be the guy. A new manager comes in, it's a complete 180. Now he's on the bench,
which I think is an issue because every manager becomes a rebuild manager.
Yes.
No, there's no manager where it's like, oh, I'm just taking over. There's not much to rebuild. We're just building on something.
Well, that's what Ole did.
Yeah, exactly. Like Ole was like, I'm not rebuilding. I'm just gonna take what I have, build on top of it, and maybe we get a couple different pieces.
Yeah.
Because I think for him, he was hoping to maybe get a couple different pieces where he wouldn't have to play Bruno every single game and be able to give McTominay or Fred those minutes at the 10.
Yeah.
Where, like, for example, Fred before he left Shakhtar Donetsk, by the way, which was it Donetsk or was it Shakhtar Moscow?
No, Donetsk. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Shakhtar Donetsk. Think about it. Fred at Shakhtar Donetsk was one of the highest goal scorers and goal creators
from midfield,
playing as the 10 for them. Like, we forget that, being the set piece specialist for Shakhtar Donetsk in the Champions League as well.
Yeah.
And we expect him to play at the 6. Scott McTominay Napoli now. Like that's Scott McTominay.
Scott McTominay's always been more of an advanced player. Ten Hag started doing it towards the end of his tenure.
Yeah,
there,
where
and
it's like we need a
McTominay
goal.
did.
Throw him up top. Come on.
And McTominay did his job. Like,
And
did
he
his
said it.
thing.
It's like, dude, I scored 13 goals in my last season at United. Like, I can't complain. But I do just think though that's one of the bigger issues is that each new appointment we restarted timelines, which is a really big problem, and also restarted expectations. Which is fair because, like, for example, if a Ten Hag's taking over, okay, I'm gonna give him time. First few games of the season where he lost like 3-0.
The third game of the season, we lost 4-0 to Brentford.
I remember I texted you. I was like, Nebi, I need you to find me a tree branch that's really strong, if you don't mind. Don't ask why. I just need a really strong tree branch.
No questions asked. Just find it.
Yeah, just find it, dude. No, but like those are the things where it's like, okay, I see this and I have to understand. I can't be mad.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the biggest frustrating things being a Man United fan within this past 13 years is that you're not allowed to be mad. Because it's if you think about it, if we're thinking about the big picture and want to think like rational people, it's irrational to get mad at these managers when, yes, partially it is their fault sometimes for team selection. I think Ten Hag has had a really big issue with team selection, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then even at times with Ruben, where granted the first season he was in charge, took over Ten Hag, and he had to get rid of a lot of dead wood. He had to figure out who's going to respond how in what way, who's going to fit the system on top of that. And I think being able to get rid of a lot of the dead wood he did get rid of, good, helps. That's great. But now team selection annoys us a little bit because it's like, why is Ugarte or Casemiro playing every game where we have Kobe? Like,
exactly.
Why? Don't get me wrong, Mason Mount, good player, but can't stay consistently healthy. So why is he getting minutes, honestly, over Joshua Zirkzee?
Even him though sometimes Zirkzee.
I mean, but let's be realistic though. Like these past 5 or 6 games, he's been a goal scorer for us. He's been pulling up the chances.
I think he's one of those players that it's very hard for players to understand this. Like certain players, even I think Martial was this too. They're so much better off the bench than they are starting. Okay. Because Martial, I think, coming off the bench, every time he came off the bench, he made so much more of an impact than he would do starting. Starting, he would walk around. Xerxes kind of the same way. I see similar traits in them in terms of their demeanor and their body language, on and off the ball. When they start the games, they're just so like laid back. But then when they come off the bench, they're like in it to just give it everything. Like Xerxes, the last few games, he's come off the bench and he's been such a spark. Martial used to do the same thing when he was off the bench. And it's just people need to understand their roles as well. I think it's also another big thing that players at United also feel a little entitled. And like that never used to happen previously too.
No.
People used to get set straight as soon as they step through that door. And then now all of a sudden, they can do kind of what they want. There's not that, again, like we said, that structure that we used to have.
I think also with Xerxes, though, it's that people don't realize how much of a false 9 he is.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah,
sure.
He's a
baller. He's a baller,
like, he's
for
6'2", 6'3", but doesn't mean he's going to be in the box winning headers every time. His big thing was build-up play. It's being the guy to receive deep as sort of a 9.5 and find the balls through or break people one-on-one. And I think that's why I felt like he would have suited Ruben's system way more than a Mason Mount, where granted, Mount sort of played in that kind of system for Chelsea when they won that Champions League, which I understand. But personally, if I have to choose between, let's say this is while Sesko is injured, right? So I have to choose between having Mason Mount on the field or having Xerxes on the field. I'm gonna pick Xerxes because I think Xerxes is gonna be able to work better with Mbeumo and Cunha than Mason Mount would, which it showed.
In turn, though, right, in the system that Ruben wanted to play, Mount fit that perfectly because Mount also was just such a workhorse too.
I agree, which is a fair point.
And he actually started having a very good run of games. Mason Mount was playing well, a few goals, a few assists, goal at Crystal Palace, goal at Wolves.
The end of last season to the beginning of this season, I agree with you 100%. Yeah. He actually had his flow, but they get injuries.
Exactly.
So which is why, like, I get your point, and I get your point, but at the same time, it's like I think I'm at the point where I feel a little ruthless.
That's fair.
Where it's like, look, I get it, and I'm tired, and I'm sorry. If this was like you just came in and this happened, which it did,
a little sympathy, sure.
Sympathy.
Yeah.
But now this is the 3rd or 4th injury you're picking up where either A, you're not doing something right to take care of yourself, or B, you're just not meant to play for this team in this system. Get out.
I mean, you say that, but we mentioned a name earlier that's been here forever.
Luke Shaw, yeah, exactly. I know, don't get me wrong, which I think also it's Luke Shaw's time as well. Granted,
he's been pretty solid this year.
I know, but granted, people will know. Last time this show was posting regularly and on the air, Roberto Carlos, right? I know, and I get it. But again, this last injury that happened, it's like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong. When you're healthy and you're fit and you're 100%, you're one of the best left backs in the world, which he proved in Euro 20, technically Euro 2021.
Yeah.
Like, he proved that for Man United with helping us win a Europa League. He proved that in the Euros. He proved that time and time again after seasons. And now it's like, I'm done. Like, you're getting injured again.
No, that's fair.
And
yeah.
I think certain injuries are different, right? Where you break your leg, snap it in half. You're given as much leeway as you want.
Yeah.
Recover. Take that time.
Mm-hmm.
And then if there's certain injuries that are coming back because they're like they're remnants of what happened of the broken leg. Let's say like,
That makes sense.
like there's like calf strains because you have to play this certain way because of it. That's fine.
Yeah.
I understand that. But when it's getting to a point where you're so unhappy with how the club's being ran that you're just saying you're injured and having someone sign off on it, I think that's a problem.
Yeah.
And we're like, look, if you want to go play football somewhere and play a lot of minutes and not have to stress about a club's being ran so terribly, then leave. And if you're going to leave, please come to Red Bull New York. I'd very much appreciate it. And I'm not saying for any particular reason. It's not like...
Why do you say that?
It's not like I have to gain personally from
No,
it. It's not like I would like see him in any way, shape, or form.
Like
on a
right next to
regular
him, maybe
basis.
get him on the podcast.
Yeah, or maybe just smell his hair a little bit. I don't know. Maybe. I'm not a creep, I swear. I'm just making jokes, guys. Please believe me. Maybe. I don't know. No, but like, no, seriously, right? I think someone like Luke Shaw, I think, has been a great servant. I don't think he's been the best leader because if he was, then I think a lot of this like dressing room leaks and this kind of stuff, I don't think would happen.
No.
Especially for how long he's been there, right? He came in when Morgan Schneiderlin came in. Let's clarify this, okay? Like,
It's a long time.
a long time. He's been here for a long time.
14,
and
15, I think was.
came from Southampton,
Yep.
which I think he got his first minutes of professional football because of Mauricio Pochettino at Southampton.
Yeah.
So let's think about that for a second of how long he's been involved in football, right?
Crazy. Yeah. Wow.
It's crazy thought. And honestly, like, look, like, credit to him, love him, has to be gone. But those are my examples, right?
Yeah,
I
no,
think Ruben
absolutely.
was spotting those, and I think that's where we were able to find that. And I think also one of the biggest issues is the media, because it's mood swings. Actually not even mood swings. Let me correct it. It's a narrative swings.
Oh, yeah.
They're having narrative swings of, optimistic, everything's great, to chaos. And what they do is that they harp on us for the chaos, make it seem like everything's worse than what it was. Like even Emerin before he got fired.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't in chaos.
Yes.
We weren't.
No, we weren't.
In all sincerity, we weren't in chaos.
No, I'm agreeing.
Like there's like we had a couple results where Bournemouth we tied 4-4. Okay, cool. It happens. Like in all sincerity, Bournemouth is a good team. We have to acknowledge that. The one thing people have to realize when you're rebuilding a team, like with Amorim, we were doing a proper rebuild. Rebuild where the first season, we finished 15th, but we got rid of all the dead wood, all the things that make our club not united. Got rid of that.
Yeah.
We now have players situated to a system.
Mm-hmm.
We've now brought in a couple attackers that help the system. Granted, any midfielders? No, because fuck Ruben. Why do we want to help him?
Yeah. Why would we want?
Why do we want to help him? Right? No,
a 3-year project. Let's just end it after 1
yeah,
year.
exactly. So let's not get the midfielders he needs. Cool, but that's fine. We'll make it work. So it's like first game of the season. If it wasn't for a set piece, we'd be Arsenal, dude. Like.
Then we started with that game. Oh my god.
I know, dude. So it's like we've had so many good games, a couple bad games. We'll be honest.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's also just players adjusting, players learning, which is fine. I think when it's a season like this where we're in top 5 contention, when we're playing well, we've had a couple off games, and then now we've picked up a lot of injuries. Like at one point, we also had Delict, Maguire, Lissandro's still out at the same time. On top of that, now having to rely on, don't get me wrong, Aiden Heaven. Great young player. Lenny Euro is still learning and adjusting, but you can't put the weight of the club on their back.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Especially being defenders.
Yeah, like Aiden Heaven, I felt so bad for him being forced to play as that central center back because he's just not used to it. It's there's an intricacy to it. Mm-hmm. When you're playing as a central center back, you're essentially playing as a 6 and as a center back at the same time.
Yeah.
Which is very, very difficult position to play.
Yep.
Which I think where he has to give that break. But I think since we're speaking about Ruben Amorim a lot, I think we need to talk about the Ruben Amorim case study. We need to talk about what he did right and what he did wrong, because I think Amorim represented a deliberate break from the post-Ferguson chaos, right?
Oh, yeah.
I think he was the first one where it's like, look, no bullshit. There's dark times coming.
Oh yeah.
like Ardi Emini. I get it. You just went to Old Trafford and watched us win 4-0 against Everton, right? I get it.
That's right.
You were there, all right? We get it. But dark times are coming.
Yeah.
And he was honest about it. He's like, look, we're not going to do really well coming up. Like, we don't have the team for it. And he was right.
Yeah. If there's one coach, I think me personally as a fan, very into it, been a fan for my whole life. If there was one coach post Fergie that I felt would bring us back to a very competitive, not even just win, just be competitive to kind of where Arsenal is now. I know. But
Yeah.
I'm saying Arsenal, it took them a while before they got competitive. It didn't happen right away.
But I think the issue with Arsenal, though, is that they're competitive, but they ruin their own chances of being successful.
But the thing is like, it took Arteta, he was 8th, 5th, then finished second 3 years straight. So what I'm saying is, it took him 3-4 seasons to become competitive. It took Klopp 2 seasons to become competitive.
Yeah, which is fair. I agree with that. Yeah.
I think I felt that with Eminem. I know last year, no matter who you put manager last year, was not going to do well in that situation. Granted, would they have been 15th? Probably not. But nonetheless, we had a full summer. All people, sporting fans, Portuguese people, everyone on social media saying, give Ruben time because he does something with the squad in the summer. And we saw that, the camaraderie, no more leaks from the dressing room, got rid of all the toxic players that didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, leave. We don't want you. If you don't want to be part of it, then fine, leave. He brought in players that want to play for the team. We brought in guys like Cunha and Mbeumo, who could have gone to any other team in the Premier League, who probably has Champions League football. They said no. We brought in a guy like Sashko from the Bundesliga, played for Leipzig. At the time, I think they might have been in Champions League. Can't remember. Or still, either way. Somewhere,
he was in the Champions League.
somewhere in Europe, right? Coming to a team like United who doesn't have any European football at all, that want to be there because they want to play for the badge, for the club.
Yeah.
Players like that. And he was building the structure. That's, I think, the thing that was great about him. Again, the football at times wasn't pretty. Yes, it's not going to be pretty in the beginning. But if you just trust the process, right, as cliche as that is, genuinely you saw minimal, each time you saw a gradual increase in like the play and the players trusting the system and trusting each other and having a liking to the coach, which hasn't happened in a very long time at the club either. And just to see it just all go away so fast, I will say he was very stubborn.
Yeah.
Which stubbornness is good though. But he was very honest. He said everything straight as it was. He never sugarcoated anything. All he said was, I just want to be with my players to train, have them play a certain way. He was brought in to play a certain way. And yes, at times as managers, you need to adjust, which he did in his system. But I also think just historically in the Premier League, sometimes, bar maybe Conte when they won with Chelsea in like 16, 17, the three at the back isn't, again, depending on the way it is, it's not really historically, like a championship winning system, right?
Yeah.
I know the whole time he was hounded by the media about the system is not the system, which I understand, but it's the fact that he had them in a structure, which again, United didn't have in a very long
It's
time.
like, look, here's our definition of play. This is what we're going to do. This is how we're playing it. Like, you guys need to learn this.
Yes. And again, the stubbornness that he had, again, I 100% understand. He was brought in from our board, from Ineos and the Glazers to be like, hey, we want you to play this, do this because of you. You're doing such a good job over here. Come do it for us. And they said, okay. And he said, okay, I'll do what you guys told me to do and brought me in to do. And his last interview before he got sacked, he said, the scouting department, the sporting director, they'll do their job. I'll do my job. What I was basically brought in to do.
It was to be a manager, not
not the head coach.
Exactly.
Head coach, I've only seen in football be brought around, the footballing world the last like 2 years. Was it not always manager? Am I missing something?
I think now the problem is like prime example Chelsea, right? Chelsea has like 60 players on their fucking squad, right? Like they have something going on there. It's like where nowadays, like I think this is a big issue where managers are now considered on the same caliber of players when it comes to news and like press conferences. It's no longer the gaffer's the gaffer and there's the players under the gaffer.
Yeah.
Now it's like the players are at the same level of the manager, which is a really big problem in football. That's why they're being referred to as head coaches and not managers.
Okay, yeah.
Because they want to have some kind of scapegoat where it's like, oh, he doesn't manage this football club. He just helps coach the football club. So he's not responsible for what happens here. Sort of. It's like, oh, we can get rid of him and bring someone else. Like I think that's what it is. Like they're trying to have that culpable deniability. There we go. That's what I was thinking of.
Because the only again, maybe I just haven't seen enough. but I'm notoriously online and notoriously on social media to see different things for other clubs too. I follow all the other clubs, the big clubs. Everyone else is manager. Arteta, manager.
Yeah.
Anytime they put you watch on TV, they put their name with the plate and everything. At the bottom it says Manchester City manager, Pep Guardiola. For Amorim, it was Ruben Amorim, Man United head coach.
Yeah, every time I saw that too.
But it's so
like I'm
strange
watching like
because-
ESPN FC or Sky Sports. Sometimes it'd be different, sometimes it wouldn't.
And I never saw that until Amorim became our quote unquote head coach, even when we announced it. And it just kind of shows that we didn't have that sense of belief from the board to do things that previous managers have done. Like we mentioned very early, Pep has that power that maybe Sir Alex Ferguson used to have.
Yeah.
Of being involved in so much. I guess now we want to just have the coach be the coach and only the coach.
I think it's also one of the bigger issues is that to bring someone like Amorim in, we shouldn't have let Ten Hag stay after that FA Cup.
Yeah, 100%. 110%.
And don't get me wrong, at that time it's look, he won us a title, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that respect has to be given. But then again, Spurs got rid of Ange Postecoglou. They brought in Thomas Frank, and I know people aren't raving about Spurs right now, but after losing Heung-min Son and needing a whole rebuild and needing to redefine what your club is, no longer basically every player that defined Spurs at one point is now gone.
Yeah.
No more Danny Rose, no more Alderweireld, no more Vertonghen, Kane, Lloris,
Moussa Dembele.
Kyle Walker at one point, right?
Yeah.
Like Moussa
he was
Dembele,
part of that brought up the bring up for them. Yeah, absolutely.
Heung-min Son, right? Even Eric Lamela.
Yeah, even Christian Eriksen,
right?
Yeah.
Like that whole era of Spurs is officially gone.
That made them very competitive. And
if you think about it, 10 years ago, Leicester won the Premier League. That was the year Spurs should have won it. If you think about how crazy that is, that's now a decade ago.
That was the Battle of the Bridge, wasn't it?
That was the Battle of the Bridge, bro.
Yeah. Wow.
2026
so crazy.
to 2016.
Oh my god, it was that? 10
By
years
the way,
ago.
just a little sidebar. I posted on my story 2016 already, right? Because it's the whole meme going on.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, damn.
Yeah, that's when I look at old pictures, I'm just like, damn.
Damn, that was me in 2016. Whereas some of the kids I coach nowadays were born that year.
Oh my god, yeah, that's even crazy, dude. It's insane. It's insane.
It's nuts, bro. It's nuts.
We're unks, man. That's what it is.
We're unks. We're unks. Oh,
I'm really an unk, but we're at that age.
Really are
we're at the age of being unks now.
Dude, oh my god. Or the best where it's where it was another sidebar thing where I'm coaching whatever, and sometimes I do the rec with the kids or everything like that. And it's these are MILFs and everything. Now it's they're all my age. They're not MILFs anymore. They're not,
what a sidebar.
Dude, they're all my age now. It's no longer it's the older mom. No, they're all my age. They're all my age.
I'm just looking at them, they have their kids.
Yeah. What am I doing in life? They're all my age.
You're coaching the kids now.
I'm not coaching the kids. That's what
you're
I'm
inspiring the youth of America.
Yeah, totally. Inspirations. Follow Man United and suffer in the most toxic relationship you'll ever be in.
Hey, we're loyal.
We're all loyal. But anyways, speaking of Ruben Amorim,
Yeah.
speaking about toxicity and trying to get rid of it. You like that transition? I got you.
I like that.
I think here's the thing, right? What went so well with Ruben, it was that he was the first manager hired based off his ideas.
Yes.
First time where it's okay, look, we need him to come in of not caring about his reputation, more so signaling a philosophical shift, right? Between not having reactive decision making, where every decision is being reactive, oh, we gotta do this right here. Oh wait, this happened. We gotta do this. Whereas now everything's intentional planning. Everything there's a plan, there's a purpose.
Absolutely.
We're working towards it, and it was I don't know how to explain it. It felt him coming in felt like when Sir Alex first came into United. It felt more.
You were alive?
I wasn't alive, but what I'm trying to say. Right?
I know.
When you read back on it, you read the news, or because it's not I was back in May Day.
No.
Sure read. She's no, I reread.
Read
some
back,
of the,
yeah.
I read the news articles. That was the primary thing I did when I was investigating this on my own, right? Where it's let me read the news articles, let me see what they're saying at the time, and how they were explaining it, and then you go in and you read news articles essentially what's being posted on Instagram now, right? Where it's oh, let me see what they're saying online, and the words literally felt word for word the same.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing, especially with managers that previously before Amorim, is that sense of respect and a little bit of fear. I feel players had a little bit of fear. They're fearful of Sir Alex Ferguson because he would lay it on them. He would tell them exactly how it was, and I feel that just regressed year after year. even with Mourinho, like such a big name manager, I feel like that respect and that sense of fear just wasn't there. Ten Hag maybe in the beginning, but I think people just lost respect because of some of the things he would say. He would say one thing and then just wouldn't back it up. But Ruben would say something and 100% back it up. We saw right away. Garnacho and Rashford were like exiled from the squad for like 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
He said if you're not going to train hard, every day a training session should be 100%. If you're not going to train hard, if you're not going to do to give me the best that you can, then all right, you can sit the bench or not even come to the game. I think it was the City game. Yeah, I think it was the City game where he didn't bring those guys and that's
1-2-1.
Yeah.
With Diallo, dude. Like,
yeah. But like that's just an example. Like those 2 guys, now look at them. They're not on the squad. You know what I mean? Garnacho's shipped off and went to go to Chelsea so bad. Go ahead. I'm still a Rashford fan. I still have love for him.
Oh yeah, same.
At that time he did get shipped off to Villa, but he was doing his thing a little bit too, and then now he's doing
Scored
his thing.
Champions League, was helping out in the league, and now he's honestly thriving at Barca. I think he fits Barcelona very well, especially under that manager.
He's a touchline winger, and that's exactly what they need from it's exactly what he needs, and that system is perfect for him too. So I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him.
100%. Here's the thing. There's a couple things I want to talk about when it comes to Ruben, right? Because we're talking about this case study. We're talking about what was done right and what was done wrong with him.
Okay.
And I think we've already spoken a lot about player roles and accountability, right? How it was improved, how to keep them accountable.
Yep.
I think off the pitch, we spoke about it, right? The culture, the standards, the communication, no more leaks, more responsibility, the whole 9. And then I think the on-pitch improvements we do need to talk about because people don't see any improvements personally. I think from what I'm looking at and from what I hear about, people never really saw the on-pitch improvements. Because people were looking more at the spectacle rather than the structure.
Yeah.
I don't think people were seeing structurally how we were playing, how we were able to read pressing triggers. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like tactically what we were able to do. I don't think people really saw that.
And also sometimes think, again, I feel like some players need to take more accountability. I feel like players in general are a little bit technically inept too. Like where you guys are professional players. You know what I mean? Like you guys should kind of be thinking about some of these things that maybe aren't said by the manager because you're a professional. You have a different mind than the normal person that plays Sunday League or something like that. You know what I mean? There's levels to it. And sometimes they'd see things and just wouldn't act upon it. That's just me personally looking from the outside in. I don't know.
I will say one thing though. The performances did get better when we got rid of Onana. I think we gotta be honest here.
It's not a coincidence.
I think we gotta address the elephant in the room. Look, Andre Onana was spectacular for Ajax, right? Spectacular for Inter Milan.
It was great for him tomorrow. Yeah, absolutely.
At Manchester United, it's like he didn't know how to play football anymore.
As many of our signings.
Yeah, I felt so bad for because I know he's a quality goalkeeper.
I had no sympathy for him because for the sole reason that what he said and then
coming into it, it's like I can't be in a Champions League final
and then be the worst goalie the next season. Yes, you can because you're showing me that you are. He had 9 errors that led to goal in 2 seasons. De Gea did I think 13 in 12 seasons.
Yeah, exactly.
He
was always due for 1 a year.
Yeah,
which is
one
fair.
blunder, which is
fair.
Okay.
When at that point with De Gea, where
but De Gea for 3 seasons,
if it wasn't for De Gea, we would probably been
That's what I'm saying. De Gea was the best goalie in the world for 3 seasons. Yeah, he's do a blunder.
More.
Yeah, but this guy comes in, says all these things, and then makes mistakes every other.
Yeah. Oh my God! Which I think people don't realize.
I think once you improve the goalkeeping situation, you can improve the rest of the field.
Yeah.
Because I think our defenders are able to. Like I said, we're talking about the pressing triggers, right? I think our defenders are able to read more of the game of what's happening instead of having to worry about being the hero behind them. It's reducing the reliance of heroic defending.
Yeah,
if you know what I'm saying, right? It's they no longer worry about the spotlight of I have to stop this from happening or else Onana's gonna screw us.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And especially having being a defender, having a goalie behind me that I know I can trust and makes me feel comfortable. That I know if God forbid I let a shot off on target that maybe 9 times out of 10 is going to go in, then you feel like it's your fault. No. If I have someone that's just going to do their job in net, that is just tactically and technically sound in net, that he understands the game, and you feel that sense of trust, then as defenders, you're a little bit more at ease. And that's, you notice it right away from Sunday's first game. Lehman's is obviously Onana's replacement against Sunderland. We won 2-0, but you just look at the defense. We're just more calm. Calmness about it.
I think that's the overall point I want to talk about is that even though the performances were not flawless,
Definitely not.
We became harder to play against. I
Yeah.
think that was the one thing that finally improved after a little while, because I think the last time where it felt like we were difficult to play against, I think it was the FA Cup final against City. And even before that, I think the last time we became difficult was
Oh, we can't
under
just say one
Ole.
game though. I was gonna say we can't just say one game.
No, not
just
one
because-
game, because don't get me wrong, I think that system that he played against City was truly impressive. Like, people
Yeah.
could say, like, oh, like, Ten Hag only won because City were out on a bender the night before or whatever. Like, I think it's just, honestly just a stupid thing to say because you're a professional footballer. It's embarrassing if you let that affect you.
Yeah,
One. Two, it's the fact that I think how tactically right he got it was so impressive. Or that's the point I'm trying to make, right? Where it's like, it's the first time we felt like every game we're harder to play against and we're getting things tactically right every time. That's the point I'm trying to make. Not that, like, we didn't have performances that didn't make us look good.
No. It was just, we played a little bit like, okay, like, again, first season under Amron, we're not expecting to play fantastic football, win every game 5-0. No. There was definitely ugly points, 100%. You mentioned before, that Bournemouth game 4-4 was horrendous.
But
we
again,
shouldn't
but
be
I think-
conceding 4 goals.
But
That is what I'm saying.
I think that's more so the fact of, again, like, injury problems.
Yeah.
Having players out on international duty, forcing Aiden Heaven to play at central center back, not knowing how to defend properly. I think that game is prime example as to not it being the system's fault, being just honestly maturity as an issue and like maybe development as an issue, because again, we're taking over from what was considered, to be perfectly honest, excuse the language, a shit show to now being a structure.
Yeah. And it's, again, it goes back to that the thing of just building structure from the back to the front. You have a good defense that keeps you in games where you don't concede goals. Then your midfielders, attackers can go forward, free flowing. Like, listen, under Amram, you said it, 32 goals at the time, second in the league. We've hit the post more than any other team in the league.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, our XG is higher than anyone in the league. We have most shots, most chances.
We're creating really,
We're
really
there
well.
in the top
Yeah.
2 to 3 in terms of goals. It's just our fault is that in the back, a few injuries to Maguire and Delict, having guys play it maybe in certain positions they're not comfortable with. That leads to them
Not having
leaking
real
goals.
six.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
Casemiro and Ugarte, like, don't get me wrong, like Casemiro, one of the greats of the game.
I call him
played
Uncle.
every out.
I call him Uncle.
Yeah, he's Unk. He's Unk.
Because
Yeah. No,
it is
like,
what it is.
Casemiro, great. Ugarte, I just don't get what his issue is. Because with Amarin, he looked so great at Sporting because he played in his system.
Yeah. They got bought for 60 million to PSG.
And then we bought him 50.
yeah, but at PSG, like, he wasn't even that bad. He was
No.
pretty decent, to be
I
fair.
just don't get what he's struggling with. The badge.
That's what
yeah,
he's
the
struggling
badge.
with, man. That's what it is, man. I'm telling you.
It's so hard to explain it to like a non-footballing fan, where it's like you can explain tactics and like, oh, movements on the pitch and the way how we read the game, but you can't explain what a badge can do to somebody.
Yeah. It's like, for people who don't watch soccer, in basketball, it's like playing for the Lakers. And baseball, it's playing for the Yankees. Big
Whoa,
name
whoa,
team.
whoa, 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 whoa.
No, I'm
Yankees,
just
really?
saying. I'm just
Yankees?
saying. Yeah.
I'd much rather say Dodgers than Yankees.
Yankees have 27 championships. What do
I
you
don't
want?
care. I just don't want the Yanks.
Are you a
being-
Mets fan?
Of course. Look whose house you're in right now. You're acting surprised. You're acting surprised.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm just saying.
Anyways, back to your point, Lakers, right? And I get that. If you're gonna play for Lakers, like the Lakers name,
yes,
it's
that's
the same
the
thing as
thing.
like
It's
playing for the Boston
light-
Celtics, like that
exactly.
name.
Brightest lights, you know, everyone's watching you playing for the Knicks,
Uh-huh.
same thing. Like I said baseball for the Yankees, yes. Like in hockey, playing for like a team like, I don't
The
know,
Rangers.
historically- yeah, the Rangers, like historically, like
Capitals.
Capitals, like historically really
Dominant teams.
successful, dominant teams. Yeah, it's like as soon as you put on that badge of that team or that logo of that team, that jersey, whatever, instantly there's going to be a target on your back to perform. There's expectations, people before you, players before you, names, numbers, everything before you that you need to live up to right away. And some people just aren't capable of containing that. Like Bruno came in, instant impact. You saw he was about the business.
Yeah.
Certain players just aren't about that. That's all right. Do it at another club. Don't do it here. That's all it is.
I think that one of the biggest lessons we learned from Ruben Amorim, now he's officially gone, which honestly hurts my heart.
Still not over it.
Still not over it.
No.
Hurts my heart. Now Michael Carrick, interim manager. I think just to talk about that real quick, interim manager, I think makes sense. I think he has done a really good job on his own, doing what he's done with Middlesbrough. I think it's fair.
Yeah.
I think having him come in as an interim is great. I just hope that we don't do what we did with Ole and
Yes.
sign him as
100%.
a full time, because he did really well as a caretaker.
He can win the league for us. Kudos. We need someone to build off of.
Yeah.
Again, never going to happen. But for example.
Never gonna happen. Yeah.
Yeah, like we just need him to do his job for the next, what is it, like 18 games we have left, 17 games, something like that. Because, mind you, we have nothing else to play for now.
Yeah.
It's
going to be the first season since, like, 1913, where we've only played 40 games in a season?
And that's only because there was a world war.
Exactly. There was only because there was a world war. Man, we just love breaking records. That's what it is. United is record breaking. All the wrong ones.
And listen, we still haven't kept a clean sheet in away games in like
you know what it sounds like? It sounds like me when I play soccer. I do the impossible in the best and worst ways.
Ardi on the field is just magic.
It's just
you don't know what's gonna happen.
No, it's a wonder.
Magic.
That's what it is. It's a wonder. You stand there and you're wondering what is going on.
I've seen some things on the pitch from you, and I'm just like, how do you do that? And I'm like, how do you do that? Just every day, it's a new. You raise the bar each time.
I know. I
it.
raise the bar or I lower the bar.
No. You raise the bar because there's some things that I'm just like, how does that happen? And then I'm like, okay, that makes sense.
That makes sense. Yeah. No. But I think just to give an overall explanation for Ruben Amorim, his tenure showed that improvement alone is not enough, which is the big problem, because you can have improvement, but there needs to be an alignment with patience as well that follows. Where once you see the improvement, now once you see things are working, there has to be patience. Where the club, I don't think, gave us patience because I think Amorim called them out, and rightfully so. He's like, look, if you're not going to give me the funds in January to fix what we need to fix and continue our good progress we're making.
As he was promised,
right? It wasn't like he was sold like on like, oh, maybes and
no. He was told.
He was told,
Yep.
Play your system, play your formation, buy the players you want, whatever window you want. We'll get the money. It's fine.
Yep. It's just
what. So like that doesn't apply to January.
I just feel so bad for him because okay, I feel bad, but I don't feel bad. He's still getting paid.
Well, yeah. So here's the thing: so long as he doesn't coach another club, he still gets paid for the next
he'll get his
months.
10 mil, which is good for him. Honestly, that's why he looks so happy after.
Yeah,
he's like, I'm still getting paid. What?
Dude, I can finally sleep again.
Oh my God,
Siri.
enough. Put her away.
By the way, sidebar: I'm thinking about getting rid of my Apple Watch and switching to the Nothing Watch 3.
Okay.
I heard it's like really, really good and it's cheap. It's only $80.
I've had this since high school,
dude.
I need an upgrade.
No, so like I still have a Series 5.
This is Series 3.
dude. So I was like thinking like maybe I should just upgrade to a different watch. But anyway, besides the point.
Yeah.
No, but with Emini, right? I think one of the bigger issues is that there was no alignment with the patients that has to follow.
No.
And then his time, I think, highlighted that without full institutional commitment, even the right guy for the job will not do the job.
Listen, you can put Pep Guardiola as our coach right now with that board. Absolutely not. There's a
with
reason.
The board, the owners. I think that's something I sort of didn't want to address yet or really talk about, is because I feel like always saying the board's the problem is just such a scapegoat. But it's getting to a point where it's like the board's the problem. Like, there's nothing else we can do.
Prime example is Ruben. Okay, listen, we lost 2 in our last 14 before he was sacked.
Yeah.
Okay. Of those other 12 games, sure, we didn't win the most. We drew a few games, but we should have won 100%. I'm not saying anything, but it wasn't based off results. We are 3 points from 4th place, competing, starting again, seeing improvements.
Yeah.
And he's just sacked at the turn of the new year after a very fair 1-1 draw to Leeds at Leeds. So, I mean, it's not the results.
Because I don't think people get like how crazy of a Premier League season this is. Like, we have Fulham scoring bangers against Liverpool to make it 2-2 in the 97th minute. This is, what the season's reminding me of? Bar Arsenal doing well is literally that Leicester winning season. I'm waiting for like a mid-level team like a Bournemouth or somebody to take it up a notch to not lose the rest of the season to win it out. That's what the season feels like.
This season, I've never seen the Premier League table so competitive. What is it, like from 14th to 5th? It's like 3 points, 4 points.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, it's
nuts.
crazy. It's insane.
And then poor bottom 3 or just like guaranteed relegation.
You mean the teams that we all drew to?
Yeah, I know.
Unreal.
You know what it is? Just we're good people. We
give
like,
to the poor.
We give to the poor. It's like, look, we've been in your shoes. We finished 15th last year.
Yeah.
We feel bad.
Listen, we tied to Wolves. The next game, they go out and beat West Ham 3-0. And then the game after that, they go and win like 6-1 in the FA Cup.
That is true.
We started that run for them.
Yeah, we're a charity, dude. We like to help people,
Oh,
It's like United knows Allah is always watching.
Always.
always. But I think, honestly, that's the one thing we can talk about overall, right? Is that United's failure to maintain a consistent manager It's not about hiring the wrong people. It's not about asking any individual, even the right one, to fix the club. It's not about who we buy. It's not about what new facilities we need. We don't need a new stadium. It's not about any of that.
No.
It's the fact that we're not being ran like a proper football club.
We're ran as a business, I think.
Exactly. Like with the Glazers and what they do in charge and how much money they make off of us. Like, let's be real.
The first thing that happens in summer, instead of us spending money to buy a player, we pay the Glazers as a club $11 million in dividends
Yeah.
each season.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't say a word. Dude, I don't think I've heard them say one good thing about... I don't think they even know who plays for the team.
No, they don't.
If you tell them to name us 5 players other than Bruno, Maguire, Delict, like the main guys, they probably couldn't.
No. And I think, honestly, it's just the fact that because they use United as collateral damage so much for anything they do, whether it's like, oh, we're going to take a loan out on the club so we can improve other facilities for other businesses we have. Oh, we need to take a lien out on the club. Oh, we need to do a mortgage or this or that. Like anything that's financially beneficial to where they don't need to take their own money out of their pocket, they'll put it against Man United because it's an asset.
Yeah.
Which you can't.
a
At the,
cash
end
cow.
of, at the end of the day, look, like if I'm thinking in a pure business mindset, it's fucking genius.
Oh,
They have an asset
They're
that makes
making money.
so much money commercially
Oh, yeah.
that they could break even and take loans against it to make more money elsewhere.
Oh, yeah. They're
Like,
making their
from
bread.
from a business standpoint, fucking genius.
Oh, they're making their money. Absolutely.
Like,
No
and
doubt
it's
about it.
fair. But from a footballing standpoint, it's absolutely disgraceful.
Should not be the way a club is run. And
No.
it's sad. It truly is sad because a team that's built upon culture and, hardworking people, from very basically from the ground up, building themselves up from nothing.
Yeah.
That's what the club was built upon, the belief, in trusting people next to each other. And now we just have the guys that come in and they just have no care about it. Ronaldo said it best in that explosive interview before he
Which,
got.
by the way, shout out Ardi Mustafa for the prediction of Ronaldo going on Pierce Moore. I'll still never get over that.
That's crazy.
There was no rumor of this ever happening. There was nothing around the time he came on the podcast. Like no hints on Reddit links of like, oh, there might be a chance. No. He just said this out of the blue. He's like, dude, like Pierce Morgan's always known for some hot take stuff. I bet you towards the end of the season, Ronaldo's gonna go on Pierce Morgan and just roast Man United.
Yeah, and
And it happened.
word for word. Ronaldo literally said, "He's like the Glazers, he's like they don't care."
Yeah.
He said straight up, they don't care. And another prime example for them not caring, Old Trafford, right? Me and you have both been.
Yeah.
It's still very old school, which I get it. It's you're trying to keep the culture and
No,
the vibe
but it's
of
just
it.
it's just not taking care of it where it's like there's leaks and there's all these other issues, which I agree that should have been maintained instead of building a whole new stadium.
Exactly. United, Ronaldo even said, I left 2009. I came back 12 years later, and the same
Tiles in the pool are the same.
the
like
same
everything.
exact structure that he left is still there. Like, that's just small things. And now look at that. 2 years after Ronaldo leaves, we have a brand new training ground.
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
After being called out on it. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, that's the
Carrington's
thing.
getting upgraded and everything.
It's insane.
I mean, here's
it's
the
just
thing.
a lack of care.
I feel like a lot of people, when they'll see this, right, because you'll hear it from either fans who are from the U.S. or fans that are from England or elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's the question of the matter is, why are you allowed to talk about this and say that you're right and you have all the answers? When in actuality, we're only saying something because we care. And also, like, I feel like I can say this for the both of us. When we've been to Manchester, and granted, I was staying there, you stayed in London, and you were sort of traveling back and forth.
No, I went to London for a day. I was in
for the
Manchester.
day. Yeah, you were in Manchester. Yeah. So like when you're in the culture for a bit and you're with the people and you're at the pubs,
feel it.
and,
You
like,
feel it.
Like you understand it. Like,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And it was a feeling that I think both of us desired for such a long time because
Yeah.
we supported the club for so long. Where it's like we don't want to be made to feel like the plastic fan. Like,
Yeah,
we want to
absolutely.
feel like
No, you
it's
feel
one
it,
of us,
dude. You feel it. As soon as you're outside that stadium, you see people on match day get your scars.
Well, the pub
you
in the
know,
morning. As soon as you're in that pub in the morning
Dude,
and you're
you
singing
just-
along
you
with the chants,
feel it, dude.
you feel like it's one of us.
You feel everything. It's a feeling that's you cannot explain. You have to go yourself and just see it. If you haven't.
Even just like on an off day when it's not a footballing day and you're in the city center, like
It's
you
unreal.
get it.
You
just-
see flags. You see scars.
I will
everything.
say I think Manchester's the closest thing to Jersey you'll find personally.
Really?
To New Jersey, like sort of like in like how the burbs are and how like some pockets of like some city structures like
I guess.
I'm trying to
yeah.
think like the city square in Manchester. I think the closest thing to that is sort of like a Hoboken type thing.
Yeah, that's not crazy.
You
I
know what I'm
guess.
saying? Like
Yeah,
I feel like
see what you
I
mean, like a
think that's-
Montclair vibe. a
Yeah,
little
like a
bit.
Montclair.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like I get why Manchester feels great because like we sort of
It wasn't-
experience it on
yeah.
a daily level. So it's
Yeah.
like that's why it even feels like more so home to me, where it's like I liked it a lot. Like I felt comfortable. There.
Oh, dude,
like,
absolutely. Oh yeah, me and my
like-
dad were roaming the streets like.
Oh yeah,
like,
dude,
no
same,
care. It's like-
same. Like we were me, my dad, and my brother. I think we were out till like 2 a.m. one night.
Yeah, oh yeah, dude. My dad doesn't stay up at all. We were out literally till like 1:30, 2. I'm like, dude, you're not tired of us now. I feel good. I was like, all right,
Oh,
hey.
yeah, I bet.
I'm
Yeah.
not gonna say nothing.
Oh my god, I think it was so funny. Just a little sidebar from that Manchester trip for us. So we went to this one pub because we were trying to watch the games, but we forgot about the 3 o'clock blackout rule, where you can't watch any games at 3 o'clock in England
Oh, I didn't
if
know
if they can't be on TV at 3 o'clock.
that. No way.
And I forgot the reason why. I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't really care less about the reason why. I just turned on my VPN. I just
And
pulled
then
up
just watch them
Peacock.
anyway,
That's it.
yeah.
That's all I did. No, so we were at the pub, whatever, and we're just chilling. And these group of 3 guys come by us. They're like, "Oh, you got the game on? Can we like? Is there a space? Can we sit and like chill?"
Yeah.
Like, yeah, sure, why not? And these guys are like from Birmingham and stuff. Really cool guys. The one guy is actually the groundsman for Birmingham FC,
That's so
and
cool.
like he was like telling me how he has stories like Wayne Rooney and like meeting Tom Brady and all this shit. I'm like.
Oh, it's Brady's an owner. I forgot
Yeah,
about
but
that.
I was like, fuck Brady, bro. Tell me more about Wayne Rooney, dude. The hell?
we see Brady all the time.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah,
worry
we
about
heard
it.
about Brady. I don't care about Brady.
We saw
bro.
him winning 7 times. We don't care. It's fine.
We saw Eli stop him twice, guys. So don't worry
True.
about it. We're good.
True.
We're good. No, but it's like, and then being able to meet people where they're meeting you for the first time as an American, and they hear you speak about the club, where it's like they're shocked, like they're genuinely in awe because they can't believe it. Like for them, it's different because like they're huge fans of Birmingham FC, right?
Yeah.
And they can understand why they love the club so much because it's their local club. They grew up
Exactly.
with it.
Absolutely.
It's their identity, and they couldn't comprehend at times how someone like an
An Amer-
outsider like myself, like American, right?
Yeah.
Someone who's not born in England in any way, shape, or form. In fact, freaking being Albanian on top of that as well. It's like, dude, like makes no sense. They were just like baffled by the fact about how much love you could feel for that club, even not being from there.
Oh yeah.
Which
absolutely.
is crazy. And I think that's where I think when we're talking about this and people are going to watch, I want them to understand that that's where it's coming from. It's not coming from a place of, don't be wrong, there is anguish in seeing a team that you love struggle. There is a difficulty in dealing with that and how all you want to do is like help, but you can't help because you're just a fan.
Yeah.
So all you can do is just voice your opinion and voice what you have seen and can back up. So it's not like we're just sitting here like at times Gary Neville and some of these guys do, which by the way, like don't get me wrong, stick to football. Great program.
Love it.
But I feel like at times it's just them saying, "Oh, it's Manchester United we're talking about here." It's like you have to realize
Then and now is 2 very different.
yes, like, and it was the point I made at the beginning. We can no longer look at United as a big club when they weren't a big club because they were Manchester United. They were a big club because of Sir Alex Ferguson.
Yeah.
I
I
think-
think we're still a big club.
No,
Let's
we
put that
are.
out there.
No, but I'm just saying in regards of expectations.
Yes.
Where it's like you gotta stop looking at it and thinking we're gonna win the league. You gotta stop looking at it and thinking, oh, even if we make it to a Europa League final, we're not gonna win it. You have to understand that. I think there could no longer be the pressure of you're gonna win everything.
Yeah, the pressure of winning everything, yes, but we need to be realistic, yes, in a sense of, okay, we're not going to win the league every year nowadays, so we're not going to be competing for the league every year for a few more years. I hope to God. I hope at least I see one more Premier League in my lifetime, I hope. But, like,
We will.
yeah, I think so too. But it's the fact that we need to just change our expectations for now. Yes, historically, the club, absolutely. Like City right now, prior to Pep, they were just trying to survive in the Prem, you know?
Yeah, yes and no. I would say survive, but I think once they had that big takeover and they had Manuel Pellegrini and having the Yaya Torres come in and Sergio Aguero's, like I think once they had a footballing structure and breaking 172
Yeah.
charges, I think once they have a case built against them like that, that's where they were able to. I mean,
Well, what did Mourinho say? Football heritage?
football heritage.
100%. Like, it's the fact that, yes, they built this from the ground up as well when they got their new ownership. But I'm saying prior, not before Pep, let's say prior to the ownership,
Yeah.
they were just trying to survive. You know, their expectations were just surviving. They got new ownership, you change expectations. United with Fergie expected to win the league every year. I think he finished in the Premier League alone, in the Premier League only. I think he finished, his lowest finishing, I think, was third. I think. We have to check that, but I'm almost certain it's third.
Yeah,
that was
like,
his lowest in the Premier League, not like prior.
When it was like the Premier League era, it was like third and fourth only.
Yeah.
I think it only happened twice.
Yeah,
Twice
and that
or
was the
three times, yeah.
lowest he ever finished,
Yeah.
which is insane.
And
right?
I think the thing
But-
is that like people were, for example, for the longest time roasting Arsene Wenger for like, oh, you're always finishing top 4 guaranteed, but can never push for a title. Like,
But that's-
do you know how hard it is to guarantee yourself top 4 every
Consistently,
year?
too.
Consistently.
Yeah.
Like I think there's a huge problem in the footballing community where we don't understand the difficulties it is to be considered a top 4 club.
You know what? Funny you brought up Wenger. I saw something. I think it was on Twitter. Sorry, X.
Just call it Twitter. No one cares.
Yeah. Basically saying that Arsenal has done so much better post. So like obviously Ferguson. Obviously, yeah. Sir Alex Ferguson was our manager for a very long time.
Yeah.
They had Arsene Wenger manager for a very long time for them as well, almost 20 years, something like that. I think people are saying that I think Arsenal are doing so much better because they kind of left them in the past. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they no longer talk about the event. I mean, if you're talking about Arsenal fan TV,
Yes.
yeah, but I'm talking about when the club itself, like when you talk about Mikel Arteta or the players themselves, they no longer mention like, oh, our club was invincible at one point.
Yeah.
We were this, we were that. It's just like, yeah, we're Arsenal.
They're in a new era and they understand that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Granted, yes, all the fans wanted, they're all Wenger out, all that stuff. They were basically kicked him out of the club in a sense.
Yeah.
They got Unai Emery, and then after that they got obviously Arteta. But the situation is they never look back to the glory days.
Mm-mm.
And with us, I feel like, again, no disrespect to Alex Ferguson or what he's did for the club. Obviously, like you said, it wasn't Manchester United. It was Sir Alex Ferguson who brought us up. I think we need to leave him in the past. A little
Yeah.
bit. You know what I mean? We're not the same club that we once were. We need to have different expectations, different standards for the time being. Yes, we are such a big club. We are Manchester United that we need to have the standards of winning the league every year. We need to compete. Yes, absolutely. I 100% agree with that. But we need to be realistic. The Roy Keanes, the Gary Nevilles, David Beckhams, they all won. They can all say whatever they want because they've been there. They've won everything there is to win with the club. That's fair. Come and help the club. I would love to see Roy Keane somewhere. In
Oh
the
yeah,
club
100%.
and the board. If you want to have that very
Impact, if
old
if
school
yeah.
demeanor and have what Fergie had, come back and do it. Gary Neville has, I don't think he said one positive thing about the club in the last 3 years, which
No.
is fair. I don't disagree, but come back and help the club. If you guys are so vocal about it, I've said it the last few months. Get Roy Keane somewhere in the sporting directors board. Oh my God, dude, he would set everybody straight. You want him
just have him be like the principal. I'd be the disciplinarian,
dude.
When a player messes around, they find out. It's just plain and simple,
Dude.
Like I agree to your point of just like instead of just like talking the talk, how about you walk the walk? How about you
Absolutely.
do something to help?
Yeah.
But then again, it's like none of these things we want though. Of if you're gonna talk, come help will happen.
Yeah,
Unless Ineos is gone, unless the Glazers are gone. It's like, and then again, we're stuck at the same issue again of what more can you do?
yeah.
Besides blame the ownership, which I think if you're a Man United fan right now, it's really hard to even think about. It's really hard to even continue to say, oh, if we sign X, Y, and Z player, which will help us in the short term, if we do this, blah, 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 none of that matters. Like I think we've gone through and shown that, yes, different managers do this and how this happens with this. And we've explained that it's not a managerial problem. It's a structural problem.
Yeah.
It's not just a structure in regards of who you put in charge of that structure. It's all the way at the top of the pyramid.
Yeah.
That's where the biggest problems lie.
Yeah. Like, we've had 10 managers in 13 years. Name me one other club, maybe bar Chelsea. Right? They're just because, again, yeah, no, but
I get what you're
clubs,
trying
you
to
know
say.
what I
I
mean?
know
You know what I
what
mean?
you're
Like,
saying.
listen, Bruno came in 2020, okay?
Yeah.
He's been through Ole, Michael Carrick, Ruben Nistelrooy, Ruben Amorim, Eric Ten Hag, Darren Fletcher, and now he's going on his 7th.
And Ragnick, don't forget.
And Ragnick as well. Sorry. Yeah, so there you go. 7. Dude, he joined in 2020.
Yeah, I know.
Dude, it's been 6 years.
I know.
Like that,
I'm trying to think
that's
of what other
not-
club has had a turnaround like that. I mean,
Chelsea has.
Barcelona? Luis Enrique, and then it was
Ernesto Valverde. They had
Valverde,
Xavi for a little bit.
Xavi,
Hansi Flick's
Hansi
gonna be there for a long
Flick.
time.
So maybe I think 5 or 6, including in like interims.
Yeah, but again, they get coaches that are very in tune with what.
No, I
Barcelona
agree with you.
wants to
No,
do.
and I agree with you
So
100%.
that's also a different.
No, I agree with you. But I'm just saying, if we're trying to think of clubs that are going through the same issue,
Yeah.
I want to point it out where it's like, yes, even though like Barcelona is going through a lot of managers, they're still finding a way to be successful and keep the Barcelona way. Even though I despise them with a dying passion,
Yeah, me too.
and how they break rules and financial rules and stuff. Despise that. Besides the point,
They play good soccer. I'll give
they play good soccer, right? I'll give Hansi Flick that credit, not Barcelona themselves. Even besides that point, it's like it's now gone to a point where being a Manchester United fan feels lost.
Oh, dude, yeah.
That's what it is. It's like it gets to a point where it's like you're in a relationship and you're looking back at all the good times and not the present with your significant other. That's what
Yeah.
it feels like right now.
Dude, it's like because like with United, every time we used to concede, I used to be so upset. I used to be like,
I know,
oh, here we
same.
go. We concede. I'm like,
We're so numb to it now. It's the problem.
dude, numb to the pain.
Dude,
It's-
and the best way I can explain it is like we now understand what it feels like to be a mid-level club fan.
Again, at the time
Like,
being, yeah,
like
that's just what we are.
like now we know what it feels like to be a Crystal Palace fan, a club that, yes, has recently won the FA Cup, has made it into Europe, but are still struggling. We're now understanding at that same level.
I think, yeah, like if you want to put it like the Premier League in tiers, right? Like tier 1, you have Liverpool, City, Arsenal, tier of their own, very competitive every year. You know they're going to make an impact somewhere. Maybe
But
in
even
Europe,
Liverpool, that wasn't even a discussion until like a decade ago, 2015.
Yeah, but again, historically they were a good team, and
Historically,
yeah, but yes, they didn't win a Premier League until 2020, but 2005 they won Champions League. Like they were competitive in the Champions League, is what I'm saying.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Okay.
And then you have like your tier 2s, which I think United kind of fall in there, or you have like Chelsea. I don't even count Tottenham in tier 2. I'll be honest. But you have like Chelsea, you have United, you have Newcastle now.
I'm about to say I would
Villa,
definitely throw
you know what I mean?
Newcastle in
Like,
that conversation.
They're now each year they're hovering around the top 6, top 5, top 4, always being very competitive, a nuisance to the big teams, like that's why I feel like United fall under. And I think, with Fergie, even maybe even with Mourinho, we were a tier 1. Mourinho always says his best ever accomplishment was finishing second with that United team
And winning the Europa League at the same time. It's like
because
that's
he knew from the top down that it was a shit show.
it's a mess.
It's just it's heartbreaking as a fan, especially with, again, like me and you are just two examples of people who are like very diehard. Like, dude, and we live over here. Imagine the people across the water.
Oh yeah, dude, across the pond. Yeah.
Like the guys who like the older gentlemen who've seen everything being
Exactly.
won. You know what I mean? Oh, dude, I can't even imagine. We've only been listen. I've been around for 24 years.
And the funniest thing is, like, my father, who I've like recently turned into a full-fledged football fan. I think it's taken like, I would say, the past like 3-4 years finally.
Okay.
Because how my dad's a behemoth ex-D1 football player, right?
Yeah.
Like, finally be able to convince him about like liking soccer.
Yeah,
Took a long time, dude.
I got there in the end, though.
But I do feel bad that I made him pick United. I really do.
Dude, I blame my father.
The thing is, I can blame my grandfather, but I can't blame him at the same time.
I can, but can't either. Exactly. Because like at the time, my dad loved United. At the time when I was like 5 or 6 years old watching United, watching Ronaldo do, rainbow flags, step overs, and everything. I'm like, oh, this guy's sick. I like this team, But my dad also was like, oh, he always used to have United games on because he's a United fan too. And now I'm thinking about myself and how I saw very little of the good days, and then now, the horror days. But he saw a good amount of the good days in the 90s and 2000s, and now he's just seeing a decline. I'm like, this is your fault. I'm like, I blame you. I'm like, I'm a United fan because of you. I blame you.
Think about how crazy it is, though. We're about to hit 13 years into what has been the mess of Man United.
Still won some more trophies than
that is true, though. Think about how
teams.
crazy it is, though. It's like United as a mess has had what, 2 FA Cups? Oh,
Sure.
We had the FA Cup under Van Gaal.
Oh,
Remember
that's right,
Lingard
Van Gaal,
Banger,
that's
Lingard
right,
Banger against Palace. We have 2 FA Cups. We have
Europa League,
Europa League. We have a Carabao Cup,
Community Shields,
Community Shield.
the Bangkok Super Cup that we won
We're not
last
counting
summer.
that. We're not counting
I know.
But think about it, like, realistically, we've won what, 6 titles in that 13-year stint of being a terribly ran club.
Yeah, and again, nothing to be boasting about, but like some clubs have been dying to just get their hands on some sort of silverware.
Well, think about it. Newcastle, prime example. Like, you know how
So it took
pissed
them
they were
70
they
years.
didn't win that EFL Cup. How much that would have meant to them.
I know, and then won the next year or
Yeah.
2 years later. Sorry,
Yeah, but that's
But,
what I'm saying. It's
yeah.
that like there's clubs that would
certain standards.
die to have these kind of titles,
Yeah.
and yet in our most tragic turmoil based era can still win titles.
Banter.
Yeah.
But it's just, listen, it's the day and age we live in now. It's acceptance. That's the biggest thing. I think it might have been TikTok. Acceptance was the big word. He's a massive United fan, this guy. And he said acceptance. He's like, we just all need to accept where we're at.
Yeah.
It's like simple as. He's like, we're not the club we used to be. We're not as competitive as we used to. We just need to accept where we are. We're hopefully in the top 10 every year. Mid table to fighting for Europa League, Champions League spots. That's where we are now.
Yeah.
Again, other clubs were in the same exact position. Liverpool before Klopp were in that same exact position.
Yeah.
Arsenal post, even with Arteta, 8th, 5th.
Yeah.
First 3 seasons. You know what I mean? Chelsea is always a revolving door.
Yeah.
Mal wins the league.
Well,
with
they
them.
were always like known for that though. Like Roman
Yeah,
Abramovich had no
He was very
fear of getting
cutthroat.
rid of somebody.
Yeah, he was very
like Roberto Di Matteo won them a Champions League All right, you're
cut the
out.
boot.
We don't think you're doing good enough.
Yeah, I mean, Mourinho won the league. Next year, finished 10th. They get Conte, and then win the league the next
Yeah,
year after that. It's
exactly.
like, and then a season after, he gets sacked. So, I mean,
Yeah.
it's like, I get that. It's just, it's different certain standards, and we just got to live with what we are now. Enjoy it. Like, I just hope Carrick goes in there. I just hope we play good footy. Very attacking. Just make do it for the fans. That's all it is.
I think the only thing I want guaranteed with Michael Carrick taking over, because the rest of the season I could give two shits about now.
Give the youth a chance.
Actually, you know what? I do hope we still finish top 5 because I have a $100 bet with Besmir, where I promised we'd win top 5. We finished top 5.
Over Chelsea or just?
No, just top 5.
Oh, okay.
I promised him that. He's like, oh, yeah, you have to finish your 15th. I'll shake on it. So now I sort of have some investment in it. It's no longer I care for United. It's the fact that I have money on this, and you better make sure I make it.
That's different. Yeah, that's different type of.
That's a different type of motivation now that I have to watching Man United. But no, I do think that with Carrick, one of the things I definitely do want to see, I want to see Mino get more minutes.
Oh, yeah. And I think it's gonna.
The two things I want to see, honestly, is I want to see a midfield 3 of Bruno, Mino, and Toby Collier, because we just recalled him on loan from West Brom.
I love him, but I don't think he's a quality.
But
quality.
but in all honesty, I just need to see the minutes to see these guys improve.
Yeah,
That's all I want.
Yeah.
Because if you're a Carrick, you know that the season's done for. You have no trophy
There's
to
nothing
play, for.
yeah.
You're not going to win the Premier League realistically. You're not. Like,
Yeah.
how are we going to get over City and Arsenal right now? There has to be some kind of miracle, like some kind of elusive miracle to make that possible.
We all need to be like juiced up all of a sudden and then just start flying around the field.
Or City finally gets hit with charges.
That's not
and
gonna happen,
then
sadly.
Arsenal somehow gets deducted 8 points for some reason. Like, that's what we need right now. That's the only way we can make ourselves even in contention of winning the Premier League, right? So if that's not an option and we have no other trophy we're playing for, let's try to finish top 5 and let's just play as many players that need the experience. Like Shea Lacey scored a goal, got the red card, stupid. Like, I get it. It was such a stupid red card that it was not necessary from even the referee to begin with. But again, give him more minutes.
Definitely has brilliance in him. Very.
Yeah, like I want to see a system where it's being ran by, even if we don't play the younger guys, right? I want to see a midfield 3 of Diallo, Bruno, and Casemiro. I want to see Diallo play at that 10, and I want to see Mbuemo play out wide, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Like I want to see Cunha play at the 10, and then let's see Diallo play out left and Mbuemo. I want to see experimentations of where different players can fit and how we can find a way to get either the best 11 players on the field, or we can find a way to get the players that need the most development on the field. That's like where my mindset is. It's either get the best 11, like best 11 players, not just the best balanced 11 we can get possible. Get the best 11 players on the field, or get the players that I believe need the time to develop and that should be invested in our future.
Yeah, and that's fair. Like, they chose Michael Carrick over Ole because Ole wanted to get wanted to get Champions League football, wanted a big bonus, and then hopefully land a permanent job.
Yeah,
From reports.
I think that's what it is too.
From reports, Michael Carrick came in because he knows it's a very limited job. He's only here until the end of the season.
Yeah.
Dude, just go out, do whatever you want. You know what I mean? In the sense of like, make the boys ball out, you put players in certain positions that you think is going to be very beneficial for the team. Do as best as you can. You might not be here next year, as a coach, as you're told.
You know what I will say as a little sidebar with Michael Carrick? Will Michael Carrick be able to find the replacement that we lost from him leaving the team? That's what I want to.
We've been waiting for a Michael Carrick replacement forever.
Will he be able to find the next him? Is that who Toby Collier is meant to be? is that what it is? No. I need to find someone. I don't think, actually, this is one thing I want to talk about real quick before we end off the show and finish up the episode. Is Michael Carrick one of the most disrespected footballers to play?
I don't know about disrespected. I just don't think disrespected. I think is the wrong word. I think just underappreciated. He was just so good that you wouldn't really realize.
He went under the radar.
Yeah, just so under the radar because he would just sit in midfield. Again, not the quickest, not the strongest. One of the most smart players, can pick a pass from anyone on the pitch. Mm-hmm. Just physical when he needed to be. Was good in a tackle.
Yeah.
Read the game, IQ out of this world.
Yeah.
He's just very underappreciated. That's really all it was. He was in those great teams, early 2000s United, and then, won the Champions League, was a major part of that in 08 as well. Just so smart in midfield, dude. He could pick a pass anywhere you want. Him and Scholes in the middle. Oh my God.
I will say one of my favorite moments was Carrick got an assist from Pogba and scored, and he hit a dab at the corner flag.
What was that? Oh
it was like prime 2016 year of the dab going viral.
No, man, I don't remember that.
And dude, I used to have a picture of it on my phone, but then I don't have it anymore. It used to be my my Apple ID photo. was Michael Carrick hitting the dab. I swear, if you Google it right now, you'll be able to find it.
Probably there.
Dude,
Oh,
it's
I
so
think I kinda
funny.
remember.
Dude, it was so funny. That's like one of
That's
like
funny.
my favorite Michael Carrick moments. Not him lifting the Champions League trophy or a Premier League
No,
title.
none of that. It was
It
just
was
a dab.
Him randomly hitting a dab after scoring a banger. I was like, hell yeah.
My favorite thing about Michael Carrick is the assist he had to Chicharito. I think it was.
Oh my god.
Dude,
Was it the one where you had the backwards header Chicharito? Is that what it is?
no, it was a really. It was against Chelsea at home. I think it was
Yeah.
one of the cup games. It wasn't a backwards header. It was like from the side of the 6-yard box, like across. There was a looping. It was a big looping header.
Yeah, I got you.
Dude, this pass made zero sense. Carrick's facing this way.
Mm-hmm.
He plays the ball that way.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know. It's very again underappreciated.
Exactly,
It was unreal. And listen, I just hope he goes in, gives youth a chance, plays good football for us.
Well, my hopeful
That's
thing,
all
right,
it
is
is,
like when
man.
Ole came in, it's like the younger players, I think, finally understood what it meant to be an attacker. So I think with him coming in, I really hope the younger players like Kobe and Toby Collier
Understand
and
how
the Fletcher twins and all these
midfielder.
guys, I really hope they understand like how a midfield should operate. That's what
Yeah.
I'm praying for. Or maybe he gives Ugarte this revitalization that he's needed for so long. You know what I mean?
Ugarte, you know what, dude? I got it.
What?
Ugarte and Dalot, we should give them to Chelsea to fully unlock Garnacho for them. That's what it should be. We should say, hey, take a package deal. We'll give you super cheap. This is how you unlock Alejandro Garnacho. This is what makes him unreal.
I was so ready for like a serious. He looked at me, he's like, dude, I had the plan.
I
I'm
got
like,
it.
all right,
I
yo,
got
I'm
it.
ready. Tell me. And then you
You want to fully unlock Garnacho? Get Ugarte and Dalot in your team, man. Trust me. We've seen it.
Oh my god. Oh, that was a good laugh. I think it's a great way to end it on just laughing at the absurdity that is Manchester United. I think that's just the
Perfect.
best way just to close it off. But
Listen, if you don't cry, you're going to laugh. So
oh man, well, Nebi, thank you for coming on. Really appreciate you.
Thank you for having me, man.
I think today, hopefully, you being able to speak about this was cathartic. It was a nice therapy session
It did,
to
yeah.
finally
It really was.
understand and have someone next to you that understands the struggle and knowing that it's all going to be okay.
instead of texting it to other people nonstop, speaking is bad.
Or the worst is like when we're playing Call of Duty with the boys and like they just start harping on it while we're trying to focus and lock in.
It's like beating a dead horse, man.
It's
Like,
like,
we get
dude,
it.
like we get it. It's like, come on, something else, please. Or the worst is when we have to deal with our favorite Brit, Sam Allington,
Oh, shout out Sam.
and he's
SLA.
like, and
Shout out
we're
Sam.
just chilling there trying to play COD. He's like, you guys are garbage at COD and United's garbage. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Not to mention he also hates the Albanian national team too.
Yeah, for some reason. But it's like, whoa, why you got to talk smack about United for? we ignore the garbage at COD comment. We're just like,
Yeah.
why you got to talk about United? Relax, relax.
Exactly. Like up the palace for him. Good for him. That
Yeah,
you don't wanna
yeah.
pick up, but like leave our club alone, man. Leave us alone.
Oh,
You lost to us 2-1 by the way this year. Just saying. You guys are home.
Yikes.
No, thank you. This was low key like a therapy session too.
Yeah, it really was.
Just get everything off
It's
our
like,
chest about
but
United.
also like you no longer feel like delusionally crazy. Like you've seen things and it's like it's making sense, but then you say it and people look at you sideways like, what are you talking about? It's like now that we've gone through and like we've shown the evidence and we've
Yeah.
explained everything, you no longer feel like a conspiracy theorist with a tin
Yeah.
hat, and it's like you're in the corner like, I know what's wrong. I know what's wrong.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
what's wrong. Like you're no longer shaking in the corner. I was like, everyone listen to me, please. I know the answer. Just listen to me.
Just give me a chance to speak.
It's like you're in the corner with the strap vest. It's like I know the answer. I know the answer. Oh, guys, don't worry. Leave him alone. He's just a United fan. He's struggling.
He's going through
He's
it.
going through it. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to our rant and our struggles about Manchester United. We'll catch you next time. When that's happening, I don't know. We spoke about it in episode 1, the new structure. If I find a story I want to tell, you guys will hear about it first. But ladies and gentlemen, Nebi, thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you
man.
for listening or watching, depending if you're watching this on YouTube, because it's very rare nowadays that we'll put video up. So if you're watching it, you're a lucky person. If you're listening, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Please subscribe or even follow on different platforms, whether it's Spotify, Apple Music, you name it, or Apple Podcasts. I'm sorry, I haven't used Apple in so long. It's like Apple Podcasts now. It's its own app. I didn't know that.
No, wow.
Yeah, so
I'm a
like-
Spotify guy. Sorry.
Well, I'm not saying what I am because I'll be roasted really bad.
This is a safe space.
This is a safe space. Okay, so like I use YouTube Music.
That's not crazy.
Yeah, but like I've been using it since like freshman year of high
I
school.
was gonna say, yeah.
Like,
if you've been using it forever, then yeah.
yeah, and like plus like I'm grandfathered in at the OG price for YouTube Premium.
Oh,
So
you're chilling.
like
It's
So
chilling.
like, it's like I gotta take advantage of it.
It's
You know
chill.
what I mean? It's
It's
cheaper than Spotify and everything else. And plus, I get my podcast on that, and then plus I can like download stuff online and make it's there's a whole. Okay, first off, this isn't a promotion for YouTube Music or YouTube Premium. I'm just like I have my thing.
You might need
But
to put me on.
anyways, if you are listening on any other platform, whether it's iHeart, you name it, the whole nine, please make sure to follow and watch out for any story we have to tell next. And most importantly, make sure you tell somebody you love. Catch you guys.